Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Shadowfront. I'm John. I'm your game master for the evening, and I don't know why I sound like I'm just the most tired person in the world, but I do.
Because you are.
I'm joined today by Nikki.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Nikki. I play Scuzz, your goblin rogue. And I'm back from buying clothes. And hey, please go out and vote. Please, votes matter. Please do that.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, reiterating that voting is good. I'm playing Carolina, Barbarian Artificer Human.
And William.
Hi, I'm William. I should probably also reiterate that voting is very important. I'm playing Valdeth, the Dwarven Samurai.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Ithram Volar, and voting is important, and so are Black Lives.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Titania Valkorian, a Ladrin Druid Princess.
And
Ditto.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. Everything everybody else said is absolutely 100% accurate. And I am playing Ariel, a smart gunslinger.
And Jack.
Rogue. Gunslinger / rogue. I keep forgetting that.
And Jack.
Ooh.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gent Minar, half-elf spellslinger. Black Lives Matter, eat the rich. Headlines aren't votes. Get your ballots in. Let's burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Gent, you are the rich.
Right?
He got
Which
a
should
small,
gain some credence to the whole
loan.
I feel like there was an escalation here that I did not plan for.
Same.
Yes, voting matters.
mean-
Voting matters. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights are human rights. Support your local LGBTQIA community and other things that add.
Fund
on
your
that.
libraries.
Fund your libraries.
Yep.
Eat the rich.
I'm not going to let that one die.
Don't do that
ever.
at the library.
Eat the rich at the buffet
No rich
truck
person
outside
uses
the
the
library.
That's untrue, but
Now I want to start a food truck that's just called The Rich.
Exactly. Anyways,
Someone definitely has a trademark on that.
probably bring it back down. So, when last we left off, that's not the page I need to be on. When last we left off, the Steelhearts took a side trip to Core on another continent, and drew many cards from a deck of many things, most of which were good. They spoke with Jack Salzbach Valkorian of the Black Archives, a animate apparently omniscient skeleton, though only omniscient within the confines of his library or archive. And then went back to Tehran because they are heading first to Gryfftop and then to the farming village of Vlakti, in order to deal with some sort of undead threat. Upon returning to Tehran, Titania did find a pair of very ornately designed, very well put together scimitars that had been bundled up and delivered, that Titania could deliver to her niece, Brava, named for her grandmother, who runs a griffin company out of Gryfftop, the Immortals. And the group set out on the road with Durin and Alistar Green, a halfling farmer, to head back to Gryfftop in the midst of the rainy season of Terra. So, unless there's anything else anyone needs to do in Terra before you leave,
Not for another week.
it's gonna take a few days to get to Gryfftop. So you're gonna be on the road for a little while. You already have a cart and horses that you have neglected in their stable.
I paid ahead for stabling.
You did.
Yeah.
But there's
It's not called neglected if you pay someone to take care of them.
you haven't
Called babysitting.
you haven't seen them in a while. But yeah, you go to the stables, you get your cart, you get your horse, you head out. It's going to be about a day to get from Taram to Scala. So here's the question: Are you guys going to want to basically just deadhead it to Gryfftop and just keep going and rest in the cart while somebody else drives, resting as the horses need? Or do you want to make it to a town, sleep at an inn, make it to a town, sleep at an inn, make it to a town?
if
Carolina would really like to just book it because we're behind schedule on the taking out the zombies job.
if the option to sing Touch of Grey the whole way there is possible, yes, Ariel is for this.
So what?
Question.
Listen to music, people. Deadhead. Great
No,
choice.
also,
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah.
clarify your statement. None of us understood it.
It's not my fault. You're all young.
I'm right there with you,
The
Jeremy.
blood of the innocent. Sorry, can't help it.
Where was I going? Does Gent think, given the rainy season and likely poorer road conditions, that we are going to make better time if we stop and maintain the wagon, or is the wagon engineered solidly enough that it could manage the entire push-through trip?
Make a Tinker Tools check with intelligence.
I
Okay.
guarantee you there are 50 to 70-year-olds watching this who are laughing right now. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm going to
That's
use my
great.
last proficiency, or my last
surprised-
inspiration.
I'm surprised you want to guarantee that there are 50 or 70-year-olds watching this.
Jesus Christ.
At some
18.
point, I did not specify when.
With an 18, the wagon could make it to Gryfftop without stopping. The horses probably couldn't, but the wagon could.
Mm-hmm. So Gent will offer that little tidbit of information as we don't have a tireless mode of pulling this thing, so we're probably going to need to make some stops. And given that there's
Either-
2 towns of relatively equal distance in between, I feel like we go straight through until we hit a town, spend the night, and then do it again.
What if we go straight through until we hit a town, trade out the horses, and do it again?
Or that.
Oh, but I like these horses.
Well, I like having a job and not having my country overrun with zombies. But of course, Princess, your horses are very beautiful.
Wow. Even for me, that was... Even
Fine.
from my standpoint, that was a bit snarky.
Yes, I'm dealing with some shit.
Mm-hmm. Just saying, we're abandoning them somewhere, and then they're just gonna be there, and it's not like Taram. And okay, fine, can get different horses.
If you'd like, I'm sure we have the money to stable the horses without selling them so that you can come back for them again when your country is not being overrun with zombies.
I like how one town became your country.
It is in the country, and Carolina is trying to make a point.
All right. So we'll get fresh horses in Scala, keep going, rest along the way, same in Agrosk, and then to Gryfftop, where I assume we'll leave. Well, no, actually, we'll probably need to take the wagon down to Vlatke.
I don't know why, but the phrase fresh
Black
horses
type.
always puts me in mind of a man with a very powerful accent screaming loudly.
Yes, the K
I
comes
have no
before
idea what you're talking
the,
about.
the K comes before the T when you pronounce the city's name. It's Vlakte.
Vlatke. Vlatke. There we go.
I
That's
want to
rough.
point out that it sounds a lot like Velaki, and we're going there anyway.
Yes, so you'll be
But I
so
think
yeah
good
you'll
job.
be passing through Scala, Agrosk, and Gryfftop to get to Vlakte.
And
All
we're
right.
dropping off the miners in Gryfftop.
Yes.
The
Farmers.
farmer. Yes,
Farmers.
farmer.
The
There's only one.
homesteading
And-
for.
And some swords.
In Durin. Yeah, Titania's got this
and,
bundle of
and
blades.
some money.
Yes, that's fine.
Gent's gonna
All
write
of
a
that is-
check.
It's less a check and
Exciting,
more
have you
a
figured it out?
I
writ of
thought
credit.
one of
Yeah.
Valdeth's retainers was coming.
Yeah,
Am I wrong about that?
Durin is also there.
Yeah, Durin's a long way.
Durin is going to be overseeing the construction of the thing. And Durin has this large book of all of your requests for things in the house that he is meticulously taking notes for and is like designing things for. So, but you set off from Taram. Whoever wants to. Who is piloting the cart?
I think Ithram has proficiency, so he is also the one who bought it. So he'll drive.
Okay.
Sounds good.
There-
I don't have land vehicles, so
So we're assuming that Durin and Alistar are in the cart as well. The cart basically has enough room for you guys, so adding two more means that there's not going to be enough room for two people on the cart.
Get a walk.
Yeah, I was say, would anybody like to walk or find it or figure out a different means of travel?
I can run around for a while. It's something.
You'd turn into a horse if you wanted.
Yeah.
All right, so Gent's walking. Titania's
Gent just kind of looks at Titania.
Titania becomes a horse.
Stop. Stare at you. Winnie.
Do you mind if I? Okay, that.
And then I come back, and then I'm like,
And
the
Gent
horse
climbs
equivalent.
up of
There we
a
go.
what the fuck
Okay.
shrug. Right.
A horse stands up on its hind two legs, stands up, and
I didn't want. Gent leans down and pats your neck. I didn't want to assume.
So you make your way to Scala. Ithram, as the person driving, give me a perception check.
absolutely, I can do that. 4.
All right.
It's rainy out.
It's real fucking rainy out.
It's rainy.
It's rainy. It's muddy. But you make it to Scala at the end of the day with no real problems. Scala, for those of you that haven't been there before or have skipped past it before, is a fairly small cliff-oriented community. It's basically another dock, but it's not big enough to be a port, so it's not considered a port town. But it's mostly fishing oriented. So, but the big thing about it is that it's actually built into the cliff. You can only see a very small amount of the city from the road. You actually have to get to the edge and look down to see the rest of it. As it's basically a bunch of buildings that are put on supporting struts out away from the cliffs or carved into the earth and so back away from it. And there's lots of hanging cranes and hooks all sort of done in the cliff face. People get around via ladders, elevators, and occasionally Tarzan. Those are the more adventuresome
They
people
just
who occasionally
ride a very hunky man in a loincloth?
No, they swing.
On a very hunky man way.
Well, we know that, John, but how do they get around town?
But yeah, so there you will, anybody who stays too terribly long in Scala will eventually hear the scream of someone falling to the water below. Most of the time saved by a feather fall, but not always.
Question: does Cathian have a link pearl?
No.
Okay.
Cathian does not have a link pearl. Neither does Duran or
Any of the other.
or any of the
It
other
has several
traders.
extras now that we all have advanced link pearls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true.
And they would connect in.
Yeah,
Or
you
to
could,
make
you
We have
could,
a burner link pearl.
you could connect them to the link pearls. But you trade out trading out horses is going to cost you some money. Not as much as buying new horses because you're. My last question: do you want to stable these horses and buy 2 new ones, or do you want to actually trade these 2 for new ones?
I think we can just stable them for now and pick them back up because we're gonna need horses at the new manor.
Could not be a horrible idea to have available horses.
I mean, how much?
We might need them?
How much would it be? Because our attention span is our attention span. To have the horses, once they are rested, delivered the rest of the way to Gryfftop.
Okay. So you could. So it'd basically be 75 gold per horse if you wanted to. Firstly, to buy a horse would be 75 gold. So if you wanted to buy them and you wanted to keep the ones you have and you wanted to buy new ones, to have those horses then ridden to Gryfftop, and presumably to have those people find their own way back, would cost you. Let's see, 3 copper per mile. So this is. Nope, go that way. 40. So about 100. So about 95 copper, which would be 9 silver, 5 copper.
Per horse.
Yeah, per horse.
Alternately, how much would it cost to stable the 2 horses we have here for a potential period of, say, up to, I don't know, 3 years?
Knowing our
Which is
attention
when we remember that we have them and go back
Exactly.
and get them. Yeah.
After 3 years and a day.
Gent's gonna pay to have our horses rested and then just delivered to Gryfftop.
Okay.
That way they're at least at our homestead and we don't
Alright.
have to run 2 towns down the road when we do remember we have the
I'm just
extras.
saying, if we buy new horses and leave these ones here and stable them for a few years, at some point we will come back to this town, because it will happen for every town we ever come to, and be like, hey, we need to get horses.
Oh, wait, you already have 2.
Yeah,
Yes.
oh, you're back for your horses? Oh, we have horses here?
No, you stable the 2 horses. You pay to have the 2 horses stabled and delivered. That's 95 silver each.
I thought you said 95 copper.
Sorry, 95
You did.
copper each. 9 silver, 5
Ah,
copper.
okay.
All right, it ended up being both things.
It's all good.
Words.
What kind of deal are you running here, stable hand?
That'll be 95 silver. Didn't you say copper? No.
Yes, As guns just start to slightly slide, like just get readjusted on holsters. Sorry, what was that?
And there'll be 75 gold for 2 per horse for 2 new horses. So
All right.
Eventually, we'll actually have a horse.
Gent
for
is just
everyone.
Gent is just paying for all of this out of pocket. Then
all right.
I'm just keeping track of it, and I'll edit it on my sheet here in a sec.
Right, so you buy 2 new horses and continue on. At some point, you're going to have to swap out drivers because Ithram will need to sleep. Who wants to take over driving after Ithram stops?
Anyone else have land vehicle proficiency, or are we just going?
No, but I'm pretty good with animals, and I'm kind of out of the
I have a high intelligence. I think that's what you use with land
Susanna,
vehicles.
you're going to need to rest for a bit because you've been running
I
all day as a
have
horse.
That's
very
fair.
good animal handling and survival, and I'm fast with the grip. But I do not have vehicle proficiency.
Driver is not in my resume.
So
All right. Take the
outs-
reins.
yes, outside of best vehicle driver, it's either just best at handling things in general or best at dealing with
All right.
animals.
So give me so if Carolina is taking the reins, is anyone stopping her?
Can I help?
Yeah, you could help. Both of you can get
Yeah.
up there.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna need to trade out at some point. But
Yeah, Scuzz hangs out up there. I don't need to sleep.
okay, I got advantage then.
So
I do
Yeah.
use the reins.
give me give me an animal handling check with advantage.
Oh, that's wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a +6.
18.
Okay, 18.
Hey, with a -1.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Those of you riding in the back, it's not nearly as smooth a ride as it was with Ithram, who didn't have to make a roll because he had the proficiency. But it's not too terribly bad. Jeremy, roll me a D100
Why me?
Because it's you.
because I want you to roll me the
D100. The closest thing to a sure thing.
Mm,
Is Jeremy.
See if I can get below a 10. No!
Oh.
All right.
63.
No, roll 20. Stop trying to use my camera and my microphone.
Don't you
sure?
want them
You.
to hear you?
Carolina and Skuz, either one of you give me a perception check with advantage, or both of you give me perception checks. One of the two.
Why doesn't Scuzz do it with advantage?
Yay.
Also, John, what would I use? What skill would I use for land vehicles? Because right now it's just set to query.
At the dexterity would be the
Okay.
the thing for like if you were doing intense like cart tricks.
Okay. Oh,
Tense
yeah.
card tricks.
But-
Grinded
but
on
for-
ramp.
for the-
Watch me pull this sick drift.
But
General aesthetic.
for the
Someone has strapped rockets to the back of these things and made it a sport.
But for the
Definitely.
most part, having the
We-
proficiency just means you don't need to make any rolls for general traveling in a cart.
Sweet.
Very basic boy traveling.
Guess who's going to be trying some sweet new tricks next time he's behind the reins?
You see a ramp and you're getting away from old man sheriff guy. Gotta make it over the gorge.
You've got the Assassin's Creed thing where you can sideswipe other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Please no Fast and Furious Karam drift.
Tyrion
Please
drift.
no.
But so with the 14, it's raining, it's wet, it's muddy. You know, everything seems fine. It seems like there is a general like undertow of bandit activity on the roads, you know, between Taram and Gryfftop, but it seems like the weather is keeping that at bay for the most part.
Oh, that's nice.
No one wants to steal shit in the rain.
No one wants to steal shit in torrential downpour, to be clear.
Yes.
Because, you know, you slip in the mud, you break your neck. It's just not worth it.
Right.
I
Those
just-
strings get all wet.
The pros of being a con.
I had this mental image in my head that Valdeth, just because she is mechanically a samurai, not necessarily because like that's how she intends it, just automatically develops the samurai aesthetic whenever the environment is appropriate, and so every time she's out in the rain, her hair is just like the dramatic like plastered to your face.
Yeah. But you get to Agrosk fairly easily. Agrosk is a farming town of the same sort of scale as Scala, but where Scala is vertical, Agrosk is naturally horizontal. So you pass through a few fields where people are out in the fields tending to the farms. You get in. Same thing as last time?
Yep.
For as far as horses go, Jack walked away.
I will
so-
handle paying for it this time
All right, so this
because
time,
Jack is away from his desk.
it'll be 55 copper to get the horses to Gryfftop.
Alright.
So 5 silver, 5 copper. And another 75 per horse for fresh horses. And who's swapping out this time? Since Scuzz and Carolina both need to rest.
No, I don't.
75 and 75 would be
You don't have to sleep, Scuzz, but you do need to rest.
Fair enough.
I can do it.
Can't sleep in the rain. Yet.
No, what you do, Scuzz, is you put like you get like sort of something that's gonna make sound in the rain, and then you put it over your head, and then you can just sort of like lie there and listen to the rain sounds, which is nice.
Right. So
Go in the curtain. They're like, yeah.
2 fresh horses, and once again on the road. Titania, give me an animal handling check.
All right, I'm naming them. One of them's name is Bethany.
Okay.
And one is.
Did you name the original 2?
We did.
Yes,
I
did.
don't know where the names are written down. I
know.
think they're somewhere in my notebook.
Bethany and Methuselah.
Parson. Methuselah.
Yep.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I mean, you have a party notes document, so
Why would I put notes there?
I don't know. I figured.
Why
Yeah,
would
we didn't write the name of the horses
names
down
of
in
our
there.
Horses. Horses are a disposable commodity in D&D.
So, you're on your way to Gryfftop. Titania,
Yep.
Animal handling 19. Okay.
Yep.
Again, not as smooth as Ithram's driving, but passable. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Titania.
All right. 25.
So, you hear it before it happens.
Oh.
Underneath the current of rain, there is this sound of something squeaking coming from the back left-hand wheel of the wagon.
Oh.
And then as you sort of start paying attention to it,
Dad?
and the entire wagon tilts back to the left.
We break a fucking axle.
Waking everyone in the wagon up.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh gosh.
Oh, what happened?
Something broke. I
Go get my
As
tinker
I'm
tool.
picking myself up off the ground, you don't say.
There's mud all over your clothes now.
mean, at least it's rainy. You can just stand out in the rain and it'll just wash that off.
That's not how cleaning works, dear.
So as you get out and look at the thing, basically right at the joint where the wheel connects to the wagon, the axle had just shattered.
Someone has mending, right?
Yeah, I do. If
Right.
it's not
I'll
too
point to
big.
the sort of smaller crack for mending, and I have Tinker's Tools proficiency in equipment. So I'll
So
just...
between the group of you, there's enough of you to pick the wagon up, and so somebody can get the wheel back in place, and you can cast mending, which will be enough to mend a good portion of it, and then you can make it. Whoever wants to can make a Tinker's Tools check with dexterity,
Sure.
or
Kent will assist if advantage can be
yeah,
given.
yeah, you can give advantage with assistance.
All right.
Good thing. 21.
Right.
Oh wait.
That's just your
Sorry.
dexterity.
Add another 4 to that.
Okay,
25.
25. Yeah, so you
25.
you are able to brace the broken axle enough that it will stay on. But looking at it as the group of you are sort of standing around looking at this wagon that you've had for quite a while, you realize it was kind of cheap when you bought it in the first place, and pushing it this hard probably not going to last you much longer.
Lovely.
We can
It'll-
switch out carts in the next city.
The next city's Gryfftop, so
We can definitely switch out carts in the next city.
I knew one.
Hmm.
Or, yeah. I don't know if do we need a cart for the next bit? 'Cause
getting to
it's-
Vlakti, we might not need one, but it'd be nice to have one.
It'll... John, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm looking at core D&D stuff, admittedly. We can go faster if we have a cart.
Yes. You can go faster. Yeah, with a cart you can go faster, and also you can get over rougher terrain without having the same difficulties that it takes to walk. Like the muddy road and muddy ground would be significantly slower walking than in a cart.
And he's just kind of grumbling under his breath. Could have gone faster if we had a flying carpet.
Sorry,
Well,
what?
yes, we could. We could also have gone faster if we had an airship, but that's also outside of our price range.
That's a good note, though.
We'll return to
started.
this issue once Mithrim can summon dragons large enough to ride.
That will be quite some time.
It
is doable. It is doable, but quite some time.
It's like next project, airship.
Got a grapple gun. How much harder could it be?
Except maybe for Scuzz. Scuzz is small enough.
I'm super small.
Here I am. I don't know. I can figure out what I might be able to help with for the next leg, but it's good for now.
Yeah, it'll the repairs you've done will hold it until you get to Gryfftop. But you all pile back in, dry off as best you can, and eventually make your way.
Good to see that the theme of your primary means of conveyance is a piece of shit stays constant between several game sessions.
It's true. You pull into Gryfftop, and there's a few things you notice. For many of you, this is your first time being in Gryfftop, at the very least in a while. Some of you ever. Gryfftop doesn't look like Taram or like any other town you've passed through. It's far more eclectic.
I mean, look who lives here.
There is sort of like there's like a small central town along the cliff, and then there's a wall walling it off from the rest of the world. But even from this side of the wall, you can see buildings of every shape and style you can imagine poking up and around the wall. Some that are leaning at odd angles that probably shouldn't be doing that.
Wizard.
There you can see at least one that looks like a miniature castle along the wall, and another that looks like a giant skull, just sort of like decorating the exterior perimeter of the town.
At least we won't be the odd ones.
Alistar.
Yeah, we will always be the odd ones.
That's safe.
Alistar pokes his head up over the back of the cart. All right, well, the lads and I have set up our tools just a little bit off to the west here, or to the east here. So I'll be hopping out here, going to pick them up. Durin, whenever you've got the materials, give us a shout. We'll be able to pick them up, or if you can bring them out to us, that'd work too. We're going to go ahead and start getting laid out with the instructions. Durin looks over at him. Yes, of Scottish. What the fuck?
There you are.
There you are.
You've got it, lad.
Thank you. Of course, lad. I'll be along as soon as we've got the proper materials sorted. I was about to go into a French accent, and I don't know where my tongue was at. I don't know where my tongue was at. The John Bates story.
Don't lose your tongue.
Anyways, Alistar hops off the cart and trots off to the outskirts. You can see from this distance there's a very small makeshift hut just sort of off to the side of the city, where there are a few people sort of sitting outside with awnings up, chatting and doing things. They all look like they're halflings, so that's presumably the other farmers.
Gryfftop is just Akihabara from Log Horizon.
not a bad one. And you pull into town.
Gent will write the letter of credit for Durin then and give it to him, and also hand him a pouch with just 100 gold cash in it, in case either palms need greasing or our workmen need some amenities.
Right. Well, we will get things started for you. I've got all your requests, all your personal requests in my tome here. According to the estimates we've got, we should be able to have at least the functioning estate up in 2 to 3 weeks. So I'll be here. It looks over at Valdeth. Lord Stonebeard, I'll be here and making sure the work gets done on time. So if you've any need of me, please send a missive.
Of course. Ithram, have you got those extra link pearls?
I have mine.
Do you have the extra ones?
I think we all gave them to you.
I think.
Oh, okay.
I
Then,
was gonna
yes,
say. I think
do.
all.
I may have not heard that bit, but yeah, the pouch of extra normal link pearls.
If you want to give one to Durin so that any of us can, contact him with a sending spell.
I don't think that's how sending works, but
With the advanced link pearls can cast sending to any link pearl.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give him a couple, so you can communicate with Alistair as well.
Certainly. And he'll take the link pearl and fit it into his ear. All right, well then. I'll see you all in a few weeks.
One of those with Cathian.
And Durin hops out of the cart and heads off to do business deals. Like the good dwarf he is. So,
Well, I have to. What time is it right now?
so you going nonstop, you would have arrived here at a little earlier than 3 days. So it's getting on to like it's definitely evening of the second day, like just after sundown.
Well, I have to stop in town anyway and stop by the Immortals place, but we can see if they maybe have some room, or we could go and stay at an inn, head out tomorrow morning.
Sounds good. Let's see if we can find a cart while we're here.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that too.
All right. Go and give me an investigation check, Titania.
Sure. I'm great at those.
For looking for the Immortals.
3. Can I ask around instead?
That's what the investigation check is.
Okay.
Is you how effectively you are asking around. So with a 3, you get distracted by just the sheer like.
That's fair.
The building design throughout this town is very interesting and weird. And there is one house in particular that looks like it's grown out of a tree. Like it actually it looks like a house, but the exterior is hard bark like it's a tree.
No, it could do
And
that.
it like goes up into a canopy and things. And there's all manner of weird things happening here, and you just get real distracted when asking people about things.
Hey, Val. I have an idea for a redesign of the entire house.
I think the design's a little bit set by now.
Shoot. This one's growing out of a tree.
Did you
As
find any?
interesting as that would be, I don't think that's everyone's aesthetic.
Fair.
Ariel,
I was doing
Ariel, you
something.
can tell very quick. Like Titania walked 5
I know
feet.
very clearly, but Ariel wants her to say it. So, Tanya, did you find anything?
Well, this very nice house. I think I
So
saw some
no.
food down that way if we wanted to
like-
have a place to eat.
Titania's talking to you with her link pearl while she's like 10 feet away.
Right.
Yes, I'm trying it out.
Gent has wandered off to try and find the best cart maker in town.
All right.
Ithram-
I
Ithram's
will
going
go.
with.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
you're good. I will go. I will investigate myself, which I was specifically choosing not to do because Ariel wanted to see where this was going.
So To find the best cart, finding cart makers isn't hard. You have to
Yeah.
roll. There's for Gent and Ithram, you can find that easily. Ariel, were you searching for the Immortals for Titania, or?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an investigation roll. You can find Gent and Ithram. You can find a much better cart. So you can get a standard cart, which is like what you've got right now.
I mean, it's better.
For 15
Fucking
gold.
twos.
Okay.
Or you could get a wagon, which would be a significantly larger and covered, for 35 gold. Or you could get a carriage, which is even larger and more ornately decorated, for 100 gold.
I think a wagon should suffice.
For a wagon,
I want to be pretty.
For a wagon, you would need 2 more horses, because 4 horses to pull the wagon, and for a carriage, you'd need 4 more horses, 6 horses to pull a carriage.
What do they have as far as things that are good going off road?
Horses.
Yeah, you could if you're going off road, you'd want just riding horses.
Okay.
But there are roads to Vlakti. They're just not super well kept.
Yeah.
Here's a
Alright.
question. Has anyone done the thing where you train the horses to return on their own so that people could ride them places and don't have to return them?
No, but we should do that.
Are you referring to people in Gryfftop have done that?
Yes, because they're looking around and this is a thing that sometimes exists.
Yes. There are horse trainers in Gryfftop that basically when you rent horses, they have horses that are trained to return to the stables when you tell them the rental period's done.
Chocobo style.
Yes.
Contract is up.
Wait, can we get chocobos?
There are riding birds, yes.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I've distracted myself.
So, as Gent, Ithram, and presumably Carolina are looking at the stables, there's stables with regular horses, and then nearby there are these stables that have these giant bipedal birds that are a variety of different colors. They're about twice the size of a horse. And they have saddles on them, and they're marketed as riding birds.
Carolina will point to them. I think there would be several of us that would be very pleased with that, Gent, if you're inclined.
Well, I'm certainly not going to tell someone what they can and cannot buy with their own money.
Worth
Fine.
noting, Gent, as you're looking at signs, the person at the stable will tell you that riding birds, they have the same speed as horses, but the big advantage is that they can glide for a period of time. So that if, for instance, you suddenly come across a canyon you didn't expect to be there, they won't just fall to their deaths.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Are they roughly as strong
Are
as a
they
horse, or?
able to
Yeah.
pull a wagon?
Yes, they are. That's why they're twice the size of a horse.
I'm thinking both chocobo and also shield warrior, shield hero.
Yeah.
Yes. But those are basically chocobos with the names filed off.
Yes,
But yes,
I love Shield Hero, but
they are
absolutely.
they are powerful enough to pull a wagon or a cart or a carriage.
I thought that we were concerned about a wagon breaking and would want just riding horses. But
The cart is what's broken. It's the wagon should be much sturdier, and now that there's more room, we could actually perhaps pick up some medical supplies should there be any injured in the town.
All right. Meanwhile, Ariel and Titania. A 10 is more than enough to hear about the Immortals, particularly because their house is the one that's half collapsed.
Oh.
You are eventually pointed to what is ostensibly a 2-story building, but the right-hand side of it is currently a pile of rubble.
What happened? Can anyone tell us that, or?
And as you approach, you hear the sounds of yelling. Give me perception checks.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm keeping that.
Because why the fuck would anybody who has a passive perception of 26 be able to fucking see anything?
Ariel,
got a natural
you got
20,
a natural
Ariel.
20.
20.
Wait,
I
I
got
was not the 9.
everything.
I was not. I'm sorry. I saw 1 and I assumed it was me.
No,
It's all right.
you
It's
got
all
the
right,
natural
Jeremy.
Fire
We
of
know they're
11. There's no way you could roll a 9.
I just saw the red. Okay.
That's fair.
You
We understand that you've been conditioned. It's fair.
yeah.
you roll.
Your dice only have 2 numbers.
That's 100% legit. That did.
So yeah, you rolled a natural 20. Titania rolled a
Okay,
natural 1.
That's better.
Yeah.
Titania, you're distracted by a bird.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Is someone riding the bird?
No one's. No,
It's Mal.
It's a.
Uh,
Ariel, what languages do you speak?
Common, celestial, and something, I think. And thieves can't.
All right. So you don't understand
Because
what's being
rogues.
said. You don't understand what's being said, but you can make out that what it is being said in Giant.
Damn it, I wish I was there.
But there is some sort of heated discussion in Giant happening as the rubble gets blasted back by the largest bugbear you have ever seen wrestling with a polar bear.
whoa.
Both of which, the polar bear as well, are yelling at each other in Giant.
The gun is out. It is not pointed, but it is ready. Because I don't know if this is a fight and we need to intervene, or if it's just some polymorph fuckers, or if it's just a friendly bugbear and a friendly polar
so
bear.
yeah, the bugbear is about 10 feet tall,
Okay.
all muscle, distinctly female.
Okay.
Though bugbears are covered in fur, so they don't tend to wear a lot of clothing. She's wearing like basically a loincloth and like a fur mantle and a strap. On her back there are 2 large, what for her is probably a pair of like battle axes, but for you would be great axes. And she is just wrestling with this equally gigantic polar bear.
Does it look like they're trying to actually do damage, or they're just like in an I'm annoyed at you?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Can I make that as well, since there was a lot of noise, or am I still distracted?
Yeah, you can make an insight check too.
Okay.
Ariel, you can't 100% tell, but the bugbear hasn't pulled out the battle axes, so.
Fair.
Titania, they're real mad at each other, but this seems like they're real mad at each other, but it doesn't seem like murderous mad. This is like,
Okay.
you did something to piss me off, and this is how we take out our aggression, kind of thing.
Right.
Just off to one side, the two of you notice a large, dark-skinned, dark-furred centaur, female centaur, sort of trotting around. With Titania, you see your niece Brava, right, sort of sitting on the back of the centaur, and the two of them are chatting quietly to each other as this commotion is going on. They're sort of watching the fight.
Hi, Brava.
She looks over.
Wait, what?
Ariel, for your the looking off to one side, this pale-skinned, dark-haired, blue-eyed, elven woman sitting on the back of this centaur, who wears a series of light blue and black clothing. The centaur, for their part, dark skin, dark hair, dark fur, heavy plate armor on the upper torso, and heavy plate barding on the horse aspects. Looks over. Oh, hi, Aunt Titania. The elf says before
Hello.
slipping off and trotting over. She looks over. Sorry about this. Mayra and Sabella are having a fight.
We see
Oh.
that.
This is Brava Annette Balkorian. This is my niece, and this is Ariel. It's in my Gryff company. We're moving into the area, actually.
Oh, nice. Hello. She holds a hand out to you. You can tell from the grip of if you reach out to shake her hand.
Yeah.
She looks very lean and slight, but there is a lot of muscle behind that grip. As she shakes your hand. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. Where are you guys building your house?
Oh, just out that way. I'll point kind of in that direction. We're doing an estate outside of the walls.
Oh, you bought some land. Oh, you bought the land out there. Oh, cool.
Mhm.
All right. We heard somebody was buying land there, but didn't know it was going to be you.
It'll take a couple weeks, but then you are absolutely invited to a housewarming party.
Well, thank you. And she looks over. Sabella, Myra, cut it out! And she sort of yells, deciding that it's time for them to stop fighting. At which point, both of them stop. Look over, yell something in giant. Brava yells back in giant. And then the polar bear shrinks and turns to this sort of slightly taller than Brava. Brava stands about 5'8", 5'9". The polar bear shrinks into what looks to be a humanoid figure. It stands at about 6 feet tall, long white hair completely pulled back up into a ponytail, wearing loose-fitting robes and with a staff. And the two of them walk over. So to Tanya, this is Sabella the Breaker. She says, indicating to the bugbear.
Hello.
This is Undying Mayra, indicating to the humanoid.
Hello.
Mother Narangarel, indicating to the centaur who walks up. Vitaliari and Zaya are out getting groceries, but they'll be back soon if you guys want to come in and hang out.
Don't see why not. We're just buying a cart headed down to what's the town name? Vlakti after this. But we're gonna be staying the night, I think. That'd be lovely. It's been very rainy.
Yeah, come on in. Mind the mess. It's just looking over at the other two. Myra just goes, "What?" Sabella goes, "You know what?" Which doesn't clarify any further.
Okay.
And they lead you inside. Meanwhile, Ghent, Carolina, Ithram. Actually, Valdeth and Scuzz, where would you guys be?
Sorry, I just opened the picture of the birds and was like, yes, let's ride one of those. Where are we going again, Ithram?
Are
we buying the wagon?
So you'd be with Ithram then. So yeah. So yeah, you guys are. Valdeth, where would you be?
Valdeth is finding space for rent for the evening in case the immortals don't have room.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Seems likely. Investigation. 15.
Investigation. Yes, there are a few rooms still available at the Absent Hog, which is a fairly large tavern / inn in sort of the middle area, just along the cliff in what would have been the original town before it became Gryfftop.
All right. She will sit down and grab something to eat and drink while she waits for everyone to either find carts or find immortals and try and figure out what they're doing.
Sure. The menu has everything you could imagine except for any pork products.
Now I get the name.
Meanwhile, Ghent, Scuzz, Carolina, Ithram, you are standing outside.
So I'm thinking 6 of the birds and a full coach, because honestly, rather than upgrade later, let's just do it and I'll get it out of the way now.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Can help with that.
I want to befriend one of these birds.
You can name one of them.
Make an animal handling check.
I said one. Natural 20,
Holy
26.
shit. Fucking
Love
best
it.
friends.
Best friend.
You hop up onto the fence, and this large beaked yellow bird head just sort of leans down towards you. And you just immediately strike up a conversation. And
there's immediately like a heart that just appears above our heads, just like friendship unlocked.
And yeah, it's just making bird noises at you, and you're chatting along.
Your name is going to be
Okay.
Chowder. Chowder buckets.
I'm looking over to Valdeth. Thinking
Who
it.
is not
if-
present if you were going looking for carts.
Right. Never mind.
That's-
Looking over to Ithra.
Okay.
Was thinking it would make some sense to ask around, see if people know what's happening with Valkit. Yes, that's the closest I can get pronouncing that name. Shush. To Vlokhead. And just both what they know about the roads to there and more specifically if anyone has recent information.
Yes, perhaps see if somebody has made it from the town up to Gryfftop. They had to get the news out somehow. Somebody may know something in town.
And they probably have more updated information than I have.
It's a safe bet. Did you want help asking around?
If you're
Since
interested,
we're almost...
seems like we've accomplished the buying of birds, and we're either getting an invitation to another of Titania's relatives or staying at an inn. We've got some time.
Yes, I can help. How much? How much do the birds cost?
So Gent has.
You will notice that Gent has already paid and signed all the paperwork.
That does not change my question.
They're so they are 200 gold per bird.
Okay.
Per riding bird.
And
And the carriage would be 100 gold.
Okay.
Do you get the sense that this may be the first time in his life he's had access to large quantities of money? And
Gee, you think?
The races blowing through
The,
it.
The
Yeah.
golden ticket.
The for what it's worth, Gent, the riding birds all come with riding saddles. If you'd like to, you can upgrade to military or exotic saddles.
What do those do mechanically for the players?
I think exotic actually would be what we would need for these because they're for unorthodox mounts, and giant flightless birds I think would count as unorthodox mounts.
Yeah, let me check what the saddles do. You might have to actually get the exotic saddles. That might be right. I can't find the information on them in the book. Is the problem?
An exotic saddle is required for riding any aquatic or flying mount. A military saddle gives you advantage on checks to stay mounted.
There you go. So those are what they do. And so yeah, they would just come with a riding saddle because they don't fly.
Right.
Okay.
They just sort of fall a little slower at
Yes.
times. Right.
It's falling with style.
So yeah, if you
Exactly.
if you want to get military, military saddles would give you advantage checks to not be unsaddled.
I had a horse once. His name was Gerald.
Yeah, we'll throw in military saddles. Are they just book cost?
Yeah, so 20
We
gold.
had 4
20 each?
horses.
Okay.
Yep, 20.
Eeny, meeny, miny, and Gerald. I shared Gerald with a friend because we were small.
And they come with saddlebags. How much would you like to buy some feed?
2 weeks worth
All right,
for all 6.
book price.
Would like corn for chowder, please.
So yeah, you get several barrels full of seed and and various specifically designed for these larger birds. Seeds and greens.
So before Ithram and Carolina leave, while Gent is shoveling money at this stable hand, he's gonna put 200 gold into a separate pouch and try to hand it over to Gent to help.
All right, I'll take that on credit, and you'll keep the money currently because you're going to need it for spell reagents. So that's my investment on our group's combat capacity. Done?
All right then. All right.
Excellent.
And then I'm gonna try to sneak it onto his belt pouch.
It's like, no, I'm rich.
Give me
You
a
say-
sleight of
you-
hand check.
All right.
My passive perception is 15.
Not advantage.
So 10.
So I'm. You know what? I got an inspiration last session. Why
We'll
not?
spend it, and we'll assume that second roll is your inspiration roll.
Okay.
So
So
26.
26.
So yeah,
Right.
you notice nothing, Gent.
Nope.
Ooh, are we sneaking money into people's pockets? Scuzz wants to do that game. He loves that game.
You don't
How
have
much
it-
money are we sneaking
You
into
don't
his
have any
pocket?
money,
You
Scuzz.
don't have any money.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
I
Scuzz
imagine
definitely.
he
No,
does get
I think
very
Scuzz
excited to
definitely
play the
has
game.
that moment where he's like, "I want to sneak money into people's pockets," and he reaches down. He's like, "Ah."
But-
Do you want a sunblade?
Once Ezra and Lena are heading off, she'll
Do you want this rare magical
ask
item?
Val. Remind me to let Valdeth know that Gent is going to be broke again very soon.
He's gonna be broke. He's gonna keep flaunting his money around, and he's gonna get broken kneecaps by somebody who wants his money.
Look, Gent might have a hole in his pocket, but he knows better than to truck with loan sharks.
So,
Not loan sharks,
'cause
just
he's-
imagining
'cause-
sharks.
Because
Actual-
he's had dissolute friends back in the day.
So, Titania and Ariel, you're brought into the Immortal's house. It is fairly well kept on the inside, except for the collapsed portion, which you can see from this end, this side of it. Like you go in the front, and immediately to your right, there's just rubble. But it's fairly well appointed. There's furniture, bookshelves, various basic amenities. It's a little bit bigger than your house back in Tehran was, but not much larger. They're also a smaller company than you guys are by one person. Well, technically 4 people if you count the retainers. And we just lost someone, and I don't know who.
Nikki? No.
Nope, Mara. We lost Mara.
Mara.
Okay.
Mara.
Every time
spaghetti.
I'm
Sorry,
talking
Nikki
to-
is now where Mara was. On
Every
my-
time I'm talking to Mara, Mara's internet craps out. We'll continue on with Ariel.
Her and is like, you don't need this information.
Yeah, you don't have.
They
I
invite,
mean, that's fine.
okay, they invite you in, and you sit down. Very shortly, you realize as they're coming in that they're probably not going to be able to provide you rooms for the night. Mostly because part of their house is collapsed. When, like, just looking around
Right.
the size, Ariel, and just making basic guesstimates, any guest rooms that they would have had would either be now being used to house whoever's rooms were collapsed, or would have been under that rubble. But they do invite you in for food, and eventually the other 2 members of the Immortals arrive. We will probably have to get back to this once.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I
Mara
was going to
gets
say that it doesn't do a lot of good to describe the place of Titania's relative
Yeah,
when, yeah,
but that's the relevant information you get, is that they're probably not going to be able to, if you wanted to send a message off to someone before,
yeah. I will pass that along.
while
through-
Titania's talking to her relatives.
yeah,
The
to
rest of
Valdeth.
So yeah, Valdeth, you while you're sitting at the absent hog, you get a message from Ariel saying,
Welcome back.
There's definitely not enough room here for us.
All right. Well, I found a tavern that we can stay at for the evening.
Perfect.
All right, and now that Mara's back, I can continue the descriptions that I was giving.
Thanks. Sorry.
It's
God,
okay.
Mara.
How dare you have shitty internet?
Mhm.
So the as Ariel determined, there's not going to be there is not enough room in this house for your company to stay, mostly because of the collapsed wall or the collapsed side that you can tell from the inside
Fair.
of the building. But they do bring you in. They offer you drinks. They are more than happy to chat with you, and eventually the other 2 members of the company. Vidalari, a very pale-skinned elven woman with pitch black eyes, like the pupil iris sclera, all of it solid black. And Zaya, a blue-skinned woman that looks like an elf, but with finned ears and gills on her neck.
Okay.
Brava is very happy to see you, obviously. Do you give her the swords?
Yes. These are from your family.
Oh, thank you. I have been waiting on these, actually. I got them commissioned in Toronto last time I was there, and it was going to take a while for them to get here. So, thank you. And she pulls them out, and as she draws them out, like, these are very, very well made scimitars. And she sort of like, the one of them she just feels about for a little bit, tosses it up, catches it, and then flicks her wrist, and as she does, you see a crack of electricity just sort of emanate up the side of the blade and back down into the hilt. Yes, that will do nicely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
They
look very nice.
Does a little flourish and sheathes them. They are nice, and they're going to be very useful because my old scimitars are a little bit on the busted side now, so...
Wait, what happened?
Well, there was we had a job. There was a golem rampaging in the mountains east of Boreos, and I sort of broke my scimitars in its ass, literally. Like, behind it, flanking, stabbed up, and then they just sort of snapped. So, yeah. Needed new ones. And then Sabella sort of suplexed it, and that was pretty much the end of it. But, broken swords in the process. Sabella is just sort of leaning back, just sort of flexes a little bit casually at the mention of her suplexing a golem.
Yeah.
So what? I get that you guys are buying and building a house, but it's not going to be built for a while, right? What brings you guys out here right now?
No, a couple weeks. Vlakta is apparently having some sort of problem with zombies, so we're there to help the town out.
Oh.
The whole thing.
You might check with...
You heard anything?
No, but there's actually a Griffin company here that specializes in undead. You might check with them and see if they know anything about it.
Ooh, which one's that?
It's the Ivory Legion. They just moved in not too long ago. They have a tower. You can't miss it. There's a giant skeleton outside holding a sign that says the Ivory Legion.
Is it the 14-foot yard skeleton from Home Depot with a sign?
Yes.
Kind of.
How
All
bad I
that.
wish I had one of those at my job.
Kind of, but it's a little bit it's a little bit wider. It's very distinctly an ogre skeleton.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, we'll definitely have to check that out. Thank you for the tip. Well, it's
Yeah.
lovely.
They specialize in undead things, so they might know more.
We'll definitely check those out.
Mhm.
That's a good hint.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for the hospitality. It was lovely to see you again.
It's great seeing you too. Maybe someday we can work on a job together if you guys are moving to town. Lots of people here, do collaborative work, so.
Maybe, yeah. And if we need someone, we can maybe see if, yeah.
Mhm.
We've had a couple of jobs with Uncle Barnabas, so.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Mhm.
Military work pays real well.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, they can afford it, right? So. But yeah. Well, it's great to see you, Aunt Titania.
Mm-hmm. And you should know that I might have a wedding pretty soon. Val and I, and also Gent.
Oh, congratulations. Do you have a date set?
Not yet. Still figuring that out. But
You should get that
I will.
done.
Mm-hmm.
No, we'll
Bye.
be happy to attend.
Yes.
She gives you a hug.
Ready to go? Yep. And head out with Ariel.
All right.
Yep.
You guys head out. Valdeth, I assume you tell everyone where the inn is.
Yes, I send the message to everyone of where the absent hog is. Presumably dead center in the city, because he said it was part of the original town before everything got built out of it.
Yeah, it's closer to the cliff. So yeah, you guys at some point in the near future, a carriage being pulled by 6 giant birds of varying colors.
Goes on one of them.
Ariel, Titania, and Valdeth all
Wow.
collide in front of this inn.
What the hell?
Cool.
Ta-da!
They come quite highly recommended and have some unique abilities that might be helpful in the future. Titania, this is Chowder, Parabola, Trajectory, Vector, Ballistic, and Caliber. In order.
There are
Right. Okay.
For edification, there is a yellow one, a green one, a blue one, a white one, a black one, and a pale pink one.
The pink one's Caliber.
We didn't
Sorry.
get the golden chocobo, damn it.
Hang on, and a red one. Sorry, there's 6 of them. Yeah.
We
Oh,
didn't
I
get
have-
the golden
Wait,
chocobo.
I got green. I got
Hang on.
yellow, green, black, white. Oh, and then
Yellow, green,
Blue,
blue,
green,
white,
blue.
black,
black, pink.
pink. That's it. Yeah. So
Right, there you go.
Chowder's the yellow one.
We
He and I
don't
are
have
best
one of we don't
friends.
have
Yes,
one
they
of
are.
these that can both climb mountains and walk up rivers.
I can see that, Scuzz. It's that's very
yeah,
very
and
nice.
at full the saddle stands at about 7 feet up. Their full
really
height,
tall.
the saddle stands about 6 feet up. But their full height, like when you get to the head of the bird, is like another 4 feet. So.
Oh, I
Yep.
love it. They're huge. Scuzz had to do a whole run and jump on
They have-
to the
Climb
bird.
up
They're-
the leg.
He
they-
had to
they-
climb.
You have like a rope ladder. They can sit down though, so it's really easy for them to sit down for you to get on.
That's good.
I
No,
mean-
it's
Normally
funnier
five
if he
feet.
has to run up.
I mean, Scuzz has spider climb shoes now. He doesn't have to climb
Yeah.
ever. He just walks up shit now.
I gotta keep my knees nice and limber. I don't want
Mm.
crackly knees like you old folks.
You take that back. I got that fixed.
What, the old folks thing or the crackly knees?
Both.
the sudden
I just-
faint memory of crackly knees again.
I just lean over and say, when we inevitably have to eat them, I do hope they taste like chicken.
The white
I can
Probably.
make
I
good
would-
berries and
the white one, Ariel, is just sort of disaffectedly looking at the rest of you as if none of you are worth its time.
Taken.
All
I
right,
hate you,
Vector
but also
belongs
I
to Ariel.
understand you.
I'm
I'll take
keeping
the
notes.
pink one.
All right, you get Caliber. Do I have any other requests for when we do have to do riding and they're not all pulling the coach? Obviously, Scuzz Chowder is yours.
I mean,
So
she's not mine. Me and her are just best friends, and she lets me
Yes.
ride her.
Your assigned one, I mean.
I mean, yeah, I don't think she'd let anybody else ride her because I'm the best.
So what are the supposed special properties of these birds?
To be clear, that one is mine, not my friend.
Uh,
I'll eat
They've
that
got
one if
gliding
I have to.
capabilities. Love. If there's a hazard or rough terrain, they are capable of at least gliding a short distance, which horses are not. Funnily enough,
Probably
No.
can't do that while pulling a carriage though.
unlikely.
You
There is
what
one
if
way
they
to find out, but
could?
it is expensive.
definitely cannot glide a horse.
Chowder, can you and
Let's-
all 6 of these birds gently glide the wagon down gently and safely on a canyon?
I don't think you can gently glide a wagon down safely anything.
You can, if you absolutely must, use a horse as a surfboard to
No.
sort of when you're falling, just use it to sort of glide
We're
onto
not-
the ground. It's tricky, but you can do it.
Oh my
The
god.
horse always has to be shot after the fact. However,
Oh god.
I mean, that horse is
this
fucked
this
out.
went a very dark place.
I mean, in Skyrim, you can use a horse to climb straight up a mountain. So
yep.
That's the getting back down part that they have trouble with.
It's true. Yeah.
Yes, how much for a Skyrim horse where I can just go?
Those are just
horseshoes of spider climb.
Yeah, those are just horseshoes of spider climb.
Ooh, we could do that. I have
Not
ideas.
with birds.
All right,
we have birds
but-
now.
That sounds like
getting-
the worst idea in the world at this particular moment.
You could get like
Really,
a,
Ariel, the concept of a spider horse doesn't sound appealing. I have no idea where you're coming from with that. That would be horrifying.
I'm not even concerned about the horrifying aspect. I'm concerned about when the
Yes, we
horse
still-
decides to walk off and climb up something, and we have to then try and get it down.
you just like there's just horse shit raining from above.
Also that.
Because the horse is upside down underneath the balcony.
It is tactically irresponsible.
Although, imagine a cavalry brigade that doesn't give a shit about fortifications.
What?
We're
They
doing that.
they just cavalry charge the keep
Not
and go
worth it.
straight off the walls with their lances.
Yep, right.
I think you're all
Anyway,
missing
The,
the,
the
important
big
thing.
problem is the 90-degree turns.
Well, it's dark, I'm hungry, and we need to leave early tomorrow.
You can get everything here except for pork.
Do we know why?
It's called the absent hog.
That seems like a consequence, not a reason.
It could be both. Chicken, egg.
All I know is I understood why it was named that after I realized they had nothing pig related on their menu.
No, that absolutely makes sense. I'm just
It probably have.
idly curious about the rationale behind it, but I don't really care enough to find out. Let's get some food.
You get in, you make your orders. There's a turtle behind the bar. You have food and go to bed. Costs you rooms for the night will cost you the standard fare of hang on. There we go.
I would have paid for these ahead of time.
Yeah. 3 silver a person. Or sorry, 5
Okay.
silver 5 silver a person.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So.
And a silver for the
gold, 5
meals.
silver.
But yeah, you get your food, you get your rest. You have a long rest.
Before we rest,
Nope, go ahead.
just one thing. I'm gonna pull Gent aside. I would like to introduce you. It takes a minute, and he's gonna cast Dragon Pact,
Okay.
and he's gonna summon a blue dragon wormling. And this is Osanom. He's a wormling right now, or they are a wormling right now, but eventually I will be able to summon them large enough to ride.
So to be clear, you do this outside because
Yes.
wormlings are
yes,
still
I do.
the size of you.
Right, I was going to say.
Yeah,
they're still medium. Yeah, they're still medium.
Yeah.
So-
You step outside, and there is suddenly a very large dragon right next to you. Just not as large as they can be.
I'm just imagining a very big Komodo dragon, and you're like, that's not that big. And then you see, and you're like, oh, that's really big.
That's
Oh yeah, no,
That's
that could
much
totally
bigger.
eat me.
That's much bigger than I thought.
Yeah, that's nightmare sized.
right, for sure.
There's just like little bits of lightning, like just crackling along the jawline of this blue wormling.
Osanom, this is Gent Minar. Acquaint yourselves. And then I'll for the next hour, he's just gonna go. You two are buyers and get to know each other.
All right.
Like an animal handling check. Gant.
Dragons.
Oh,
speed
Oh
dating.
god. Oh god.
Really animal handling when it's a sentient creature?
Yes.
Yep.
We still gotta
Good
shake
luck.
hands.
Here we go. Boop.
Yay!
Nice.
All of the friendships.
We're
So-
good at
Fuck
animals.
yeah.
The first topic that just comes to your mind is tinkering. And so you pull out a thing you've been working on and just sort of turn it over, and immediately this dragon is interested in that and actually just like sort of like the pupils narrow, and it turns and looks and leans in and begins talking to you about creating, like tinkering
Mhm.
with things and crafting things. And yeah, you have
Awesome.
learned that this dragon is a particular fan of tinkering, of technology.
Excellent.
We're gonna see a buddy
Fantastic.
montage of y'all building
Asanam and
something.
I are going to get along so good.
How long does the spell last, Ithram?
1 hour,
1 hour? Yeah.
because I don't have access to planar binding yet.
Oh, I do.
You also
Oh,
you get the
I
sense
can.
also, while through your interactions again, you get the sense that this is not a true dragon.
Okay.
This is an elemental like spirit that evokes a dragon. If
Okay,
and Asanam will explain to you a little bit about
Mhm.
how this spell in particular works because it is a sentient creature.
Mhm.
Basically, the spell summons the there are certain kinds of dragons that exist primarily on the elemental planes,
Mhm.
like fire, like flame dragons or lava dragons, or obsidian dragons, things like that.
Right.
That are the embodiment of an element, as opposed to dragons from the material plane that are material creatures that have affinities for certain elements. These spirits
Right.
are that element given flesh. This spell basically binds them temporarily into a material form that closest resembles their true form. So in this case, you learn that Asnam is actually a spirit of lightning,
Right.
and bound in the form of a blue dragon because that's the closest thing they could get.
Cool. So yeah, we'll just spend an hour shooting the shit about tinkering and stuff.
Yeah, and then after the hour, the binding unravels, and there's just a the blue dragon sort of dissolves into electricity that disperses along the ground.
Fantastic. And Gent goes in and goes to bed.
So, you all settle in, get yourselves a long rest, and that's where we're going to take a break. So, for those of you watching on Twitch, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're back. So, you've gotten a long rest. The morning comes, not that it matters, because it's still raining.
It feels like morning.
You can tell when it's morning, even when it's raining hard.
Oh, yeah.
The sun is out to try and kill you again.
But yes, you all awaken to the sound of rain on your windows and on the roof and on the walls.
All right.
And on the birds outside.
Hitch up some chocobos to a fancy carriage and get underway.
Did you want to stop and talk to anybody before you head out?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was talking to my cousin, and they were saying that the Ivory Legion fights a lot of undead. Maybe we should talk and see what they know about what's been happening down south. They didn't have any news. I think they've been off doing their own thing. But, or do we need to leave at dawn, dramatically, off into the rain?
I did want to pick up a few supplies, perhaps a single crate.
I mean, everything that I do dramatically. You know that.
That's fair.
All right. Well, if there are no objections, yeah, Ithram, you can go pick up crates easily enough. And the
For
Ivory,
medical supplies, how much would that cost?
like what kind of medical supplies? in specific?
Like herbs and cloth bandages and
This medical kit.
poultices.
That'd be a medical
Yeah,
kit.
nothing.
So.
Oh, medical kit. All
Yeah.
right.
Probably some medical kit.
Healer's kit.
Healer's kit, yeah. Pick yourself up a healer's kit.
Will do.
So yeah, the Ivory Legion is not difficult to find. They are right next to the exit. It is a tall tower with a giant skeleton in front of it, holding a sign that says Ivory Legion.
There's a strange atmosphere to this. I don't know what if I like it or not.
The giant skeleton is looking at you.
Is it moving or just looking at us?
Oh no, it's like it's not walking. It's just sort of standing there idly.
It's just a skeleton.
It's
Is
got
it
an
that
idle
thing-
animation.
Yeah.
Spoopy, that's the word.
I feel like that's supposed to have a K in it.
What did I say?
Spooky.
Weird.
That's one big army guy.
The skeleton
Let's just go up and say hello.
looks down at the sign and realizes
I'm
it's holding
sorry, I will
upside
not
down.
be saying hello to the undead.
Flips it upside down.
Hello. Just call out. Can you let the Ivory Legion know we're the Steel Hearts, and we have a couple questions about fighting undead and tips.
It looks down at the door in the tower, reaches down with one hand,
Thank
reaches back
you.
up to hold the. After a few minutes, the door opens, and you all see a familiar individual step out. It's been a while since you've seen him in person, and a few things have changed. He's wearing much more well-put-together clothes now, and his long black hair that was swept back now has a few streaks of white in it, but you are looking at Adam,
Oh,
who steps out the door.
hi.
Oh! You guys, hello!
Adam.
Still has the permanent 5 o'clock shadow on his face.
My friend Adam!
Hey, Scuzz.
Scuzz going to run up and hug his leg.
You run up and do so. He lifts the leg up with you holding on to it. Hey, Scuzz. Pats you on the head. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Good. We're headed down south to maybe fight some zombies. So we're wondering. We heard you all. Are you in this company now?
I run it.
Whoa.
Cause you're
How?
hot
And
shit.
you already got a house.
Well, kind of. Make an Arcana check, Gent and Ariel, or anyone else who wants to. All right, Ithram.
Why not?
I'm gonna try it because I asked the question.
50.
Hey.
24.
18. I know zombies.
21. I know
abomination.
magic construction.
So Ariel, Ghent, and Carolina, you can tell this tower is a portable tower. It has the telltale signs of the kind of thing that shrinks down and can be put into a bag.
Ooh.
Surprised they have permits for these.
Ghent leans over to Ariel. Should we ask him? About the deck?
Maybe I certainly could.
John, it's been a while since that session we had down at the Mysterium. When he unmade magic items, was there any energy overflow or anything, or did it just kind of fizzle?
It just like he was able to treat magic items as if they were ordinary items.
Okay. So there's nothing that Ghent has seen around Adam that would make him think if he tried to unmake the deck of many things, it could level a city block or something like that.
There was no.
Okay.
There was no
However,
particular
I
backlash.
don't believe they tried anything of the power of a divine artifact. But
No,
Right, exactly.
it
So-
doesn't hurt to ask. Well, other than we will be spreading information that we have it. That's the only concern.
Right. All right. I'll hold off for now. But at least we know where to find him.
But he goes, so you're going down to fight zombies? Or
Yeah.
undead in general?
Undead.
I hadn't heard anything about it. But,
in search of
Black
hopefully necromancers.
Oh. Anybody in particular?
was Sienna the necromancer that was there specifically, or the guy we're ultimately looking for?
I know what you said, but I heard in my head CNN.
I don't think you've actually heard that name in character.
Right. Sorry.
But no, that's not the name of the
So,
person you're
not
looking
the guy. That is the guy we're ultimately looking
for. Yeah,
for.
you're looking for Shattered Skull.
That is the answer I needed. We believe it's people working with the Shattered. Or, wait, no. We have no idea if this is connected to the necromancer we're searching
Correct.
for. Someone powerful enough or well connected enough to pose a threat to a small town.
Well, I don't know. Hang on. Come on in. And he sort of like just waves and like with Scuzz still on his leg, walks into the tower. And you
I
hear,
have yet to be
Also,
asked
I
to
need
let
to
go.
recover our magic items, so can we not bring the person that breaks them?
also, he only breaks them occasionally. He hasn't broken this tower, evidently. As he steps inside, you can hear him calling out, "Runarvon, Alton, come on down." Scuzz, you see the inside of this tower. It's much larger on the inside than it is on the outside, and it's just like sort of the spiraling tower that has rooms going off of various sides, going up. It's sort of like, it looks like the decoration is probably standard and comes with things, though there are a number of skeletal minions inside, like doing basic chores. Like there is at least one skeleton that is like cleaning the walls, another with a broom on an upper level sweeping.
Oh, hypoallergenic staff. Excellent. Awesome. Are the rooms individualized?
Yes.
Awesome.
Adam says, not understanding why the question's being asked.
No reason.
In response to his call, you see a green-scaled dragonborn wearing very immaculate white and gold robes, carrying a staff, carrying a staff, and looks like a human, Though you can't really tell, you can see they have dark brown skin on their hands, and their face is completely wrapped in bandages, except for one eye that you can see the sort of glowing blue, purplish energy coming out of.
Hello.
And they're wearing bright purple and gold and green and blue all up and down their coat.
It's fair.
That's a statement.
The
Dragonborn looks like he raided my grandfather's wardrobe.
they come down. Runavon, Altan, apparently there's some necromancers doing shady shit down south. You guys know anything about it? Runavon, the Dragonborn, thinks about it for a minute. Well, there are a few cabals that operate in the area, though none that I'm familiar with personally. I am not certain if there are any other practitioners in the area. I'd have to scry. Ultan pulls out a deck of tarot cards, flips them over, cycles them around, then looks up and sort of locks eyes with Ariel. Draw a card.
Sorry, what is this?
This is a humanoid figure. Or sorry,
Right.
Yeah.
No, unless it's very clear on the deck, that was verbal.
Yes. He said. Oh, okay. He looks tarot cards.
Just tarot cards.
We had some card
They're how I work my magic.
concerns.
I lost all my
Prophetic magic.
clothes.
I thought you were fine with magic.
Fine. I am. But I would still like to know what I'm getting into. Thank you very much.
It's an augury.
Yep. I dig one.
You pull it out, and the card at first looks blank, and then shimmers as a broken skull appears on it. He takes the card from you.
There is an immediate, very hard, very discerning stare.
He takes it from you. Shows it to Runavon. Oh, those bastards. All right. There's this... Green dragons are known for their sort of poison nature. And you can definitely get a sense of the sort of the poison bile dripping as he responds to this image.
Like this guy.
Ultan looks at it. Well, I'm not familiar with the symbol myself, but whoever's up to trouble down south is likely carrying something that looks like this.
Is it the devil?
Is that
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Why did you tell me to?
The spirits suggested that you would be the best person to draw from.
Of course they did. The spirits, I see.
Our spirits?
That space in your brain just like
Aside from the symbol, are you at all familiar with the Cabal of the Shattered Skull?
Insight.
Go ahead, make an insight check.
26.
Gen's
poking the door jamb to try and figure out how this tower works.
He sort of waves. As he says that, and as you sort of are eyeing him up, the card that he's holding disappears from his hand, and you swear you see a ghost step behind him before it goes away. He's talking literal spirits.
Hand is on gun.
Hey, if
Before
they're
even
helping
thinking about it.
us.
I can't do that unless the
I converse with
died.
spirits.
Damn.
Wow.
Of course you do.
They tell
Okay.
me what I need to know, and the cards fill in the rest.
Did you animate all the skeletons around here? It's impressive.
That would be my work, my dear, the Dragonborn says, bowing slightly.
Did the spirit that told you this have a name?
No. They don't converse directly in that manner. It's more impressions and
they don't.
emotions.
We wouldn't want it to make sense after all.
No, it's not about sense. It's just about belief, really.
It's doubly annoying that you just agreed with me.
Someone's a bit of a hypocrite of an ASMR.
You can't see the smile because of the bandages, but you can tell he's smiling at you.
Crinkle of the eye.
Yeah, it's just a little. Runarvon, Titania, at your compliment, Runarvon has gone into a lengthy dissertation about the complexities and intricacies of necromancy and the animation of skeletons and the contracts one makes to provide a continuous workforce of this nature and quality.
Titania is attempting to follow along for once.
Give me an intelligence check.
She normally just tunes it out, but
Yeah, Ithrin was about to be like, she's not going to listen.
Bit of a deadline. Do you know anything about the Shattered Skull Cabal in particular?
Titania, give me an intelligence check real quick just to see how much of it you got before Carolina hopped in.
Sure.
Scuzz is also listening in with Carolina.
Yeah, give me an.
I'm gonna use one of my inspirations.
All right, go
I
ahead.
have one.
Go ahead.
I have two.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Is just intelligence?
Yeah.
Now you want a zombie army. You wonder why I say that magic corrupts.
You managed to follow along fairly easily. You gather that he spends a lot of time preparing animate dead spells and using them to maintain the workforce. And he's probably not the only one based on what he's talking in the group, but yes, the Shattered Skull. They are a particularly pesky cabal of necromancers that frequent isolated areas where they can work their magics. If you're going up against a member of the Shattered Skull, then you'll look out for ways of isolation. They tend to cut off their targets from others before implementing their plans. There might be a magical barrier surrounding the town. It might be impossible to leave until the necromancer in question is dealt with. They prefer others to do their work for them, so expect an army of undead. Depending on the variety and inclination, they may also specialize in an elemental magic, typically poisons, acids, or ice. They have a particularly long grudge with several other necromantic cabals, as well as most independent necromancers. They hire rather aggressively, shall I say.
Is that how you were first acquainted with them?
Myself, no. I have a long and respected lineage of teaching magic in the Arcana Mysterium before I retired and decided to go adventuring.
Yeah.
I was brought back.
I can tell.
Is it like a smell or like
an aura?
I told you, Scuzz, I can say it too.
No, I just like checking with everybody that says that. Maybe I could be a lie detector test. If somebody says that they know about undead, but they can't see the undead aura around me, they're lying.
That's not
Which
a bad
why would
idea.
they lie about that? That's usually weird.
Many people like to lie for personal gain. Such charlatans decorate the globe.
You don't say.
Indeed. Adam off to one side is just doing this behind Ron's back.
What does that mean?
Don't worry
I'll
about
tell you when you're older, Skull.
My name's not Skull. I know I'm an undead, but
Scuzz.
Pretty sure Scuzz is older.
Gent gives you a wink.
Yes.
Yeah, well.
Scuzz is old enough to know about sex. He doesn't really know about rude hand gestures, except for the obvious ones.
Yeah. You guys need any backup, or are you good? Adam asks.
Leave look good.
I believe we should be fine.
Well, if we don't hear from you, we'll assume you're dead.
I mean, you have link pearls, yes?
Yeah?
We can send him out.
If things get horribly bad, we might just contact you via link pearl.
Cool. Well, we'll be here for a while before we move on. So, have fun.
Thanks.
Right, bye. We have to go because this is a somewhat urgent thing.
Yes. We should be on our way.
Let's get moving.
Yes.
You guys head out, leaving the Ivory Legion Tower and their wacky necromancers behind.
Gen's like 30 seconds late getting out the door. I have no idea how that thing fits together.
Wacky necromancy. Oh, why didn't you ask?
Magic, probably.
Yes. Complicated, though.
I'm using my dubious knowledge to know how that fits together. That would be Arcana, John?
Yeah.
Wait, that's all made out of magic?
Well,
Yes.
not entirely.
Carolina
They're
just
physical
begins
components.
a treatise of advanced Arcana terms and artificer incantations. I'm assuming a natural 20
Yeah.
succeeds, or at
With
least
a-
lets her bullshit with.
With the natural 20, yeah, it's magic. Like, it is basically it is an extra dimensional tower that is shrunk down into an icon for travel, and then the icon is reconstituted into the extra dimensional
It's
tower.
a framework of symbology magic that it draws upon miniaturization techniques and extra planar gateway is its equivalent to this spell, but inside of an object.
Hey, Ezra.
Carolina, can I ask you a personal question? Feel free to say no, or just refuse to answer.
Go ahead, I don't have a filter anymore.
What is your very
Sorry.
earliest memory?
John, can I go for this, or is there something specific?
Sure, if you want.
Back in the true library, there aren't windows or doors, but there are stained glass. And one of them in one of the labs was a stained glass of the sun. The way you see the sun depicted in cartoon with
Of
the
course.
shapes.
Circle, rays, that sort of thing.
And I have to check a name from my bio, sorry. And Cancer was looking after me for the afternoon, and he put some light magic, probably just a cantrip or something, into it. And I thought that was the brightest thing that could ever be. That must be the real sun, because nothing could be that shiny or bright.
Well, that's hardly conclusive, but thank you.
What were you looking for?
I've got a working theory that you are actually a spell book that was transfigured or polymorphed somehow into a humanoid form, and the library wants you back because you're an overdue book.
I really, really hope.
Terrible! Carolina's a person.
Sorry, I do.
Ariel used to be a human.
Yes,
thank-
but humanoids are easier to transfigure into other humanoids or beasts than inanimate books. Also, I hate books. Why would I be a book?
Maybe that's why you hate books.
self-hatred, but
Yeah.
regardless,
figure,
first
you
of
might
all,
know.
thank you for dragging me into that conversation. Second
I
of all,
apologize.
it's quite all right. I'm mostly joking. Second of all, don't have your filter anymore.
Yeah, no.
Wait, Titania didn't tell all of you all of my emotional secrets the minute I left her alone with any of you?
No. Of course not.
Thanks. I didn't expect that.
No.
I have some sort of magic hangover from the deck of many things. The closest I can get to explaining exactly what happened to me is that it feels a lot like how it looks when our resident Eladrin changes seasons. I don't
Maybe.
Filter, I don't have impulse control, and I'm trying really hard to stay on task and get to Valky and beat up a necromancer so I can keep my job through my entire brain resetting how it works.
Well, then
Sorry.
let's get on the road.
I should clarify my emphasis. Anymore.
Believe it or not, I really did practice a lot of restraint, and I still try to. You'll notice that I haven't blown up our company house with flumps anytime I burn myself on the stove.
And leans over to
Which is
Titania.
called barbarians with restraint.
Valdeth and I know that you're very good at keeping secrets.
Thanks.
Yeah, I literally don't know what to say to that. I have restraint. I haven't blown up our domicile.
You realize that incidental magic happens whenever I get angry.
Yes, I have noticed.
Mitch.
Also, I'm pretty good at referring to people with their proper titles and navigating bureaucracies and all of the other things that a geist needs restraint for.
That has
I mean,
nothing to do
the
with
people-
the filter. I know many nobles who have absolutely zero. There is nothing that.
Did I
stops
tell
what
you
goes from the brain to
anything
the
about
mouth.
my past before, or I no longer was able to keep a filter on it?
Apparently you thought you did, but
Well,
That is
yes,
a
I
valid
thought
point.
that most of it had been explained incidentally, but
You got it.
I used to be much better at dodging questions.
I will let
you
the
think-
matter drop.
Kent's just sort of nudging Ithram towards the coach.
Oh,
I
he's already.
assume that
yeah.
we're doing this as we're actually getting in the
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
places. It's called walk and talk. It's a thing that D&D parties
Ah,
are doing.
okay.
We're
We're Aaron Sorkining this shit.
Yeah.
Right.
The assumed walk and talk. Yes, I love this.
Typically, you say walk and talk, but all right. So,
I feel like after the third time someone has referenced that we're getting on the road, the assumption is we're having this
We're in the
conversation
process of
of
getting on the road, unless it's specifically mentioned that somebody stops.
Yeah.
So, you get on the road, you start heading south. Very quickly, you have to turn off the main roads, and you find that the not main roads are not very well upkept. They're not as muddy as the main roads are, because the main roads are mostly pounded dirt and some gravel. But they're also not as smooth. They're more bumpy and rocky and hilly and things. But one of the things you notice is, if you're not in a carriage, the ride is fairly pleasant, because the giant birds have built-in shock absorbers in their knees. If you're riding in the carriage, it's kind of bumpy. So that's a question. How many people are riding in the carriage?
Kent is.
Scuzz is on chowder until he has to go inside.
Ithram is driving.
Till there is no option to not be in the carriage.
Yeah.
All right.
Carolina
Antonio.
will be napping so that she can take over for Ithram.
Well, that's Tanya.
Aldous is probably sitting in the carriage, yeah.
I'll be in the carriage then.
Okay, so most of you are in the carriage. Scuzz is on it. Scuzz, the ride is perfectly smooth and comfy the entire way. Everyone else.
So you get like the
Yeah, exactly. As you confirm with your buttocks that this is not the kind of road a carriage is meant to go down.
Carolina does not seem to mind.
But after a while of uncomfortable riding, and actually fairly quickly, you note, Ithram, you note that the birds move about as fast as they move at the same speed as horses do, but along this particular kind of terrain, they move faster than horses would. And you can actually, from your riding position, you can see they don't step they don't actually step on any of the rocks. Their talons, because they have these massive bird talons, they sort of balance on the tips of their talons on rocks that get underneath them and push off their toes, basically, so that the flat of their talons never actually touches the rock.
Yeah.
Which means that they don't have to slow down because their toes are sensitive enough that they can just go over difficult terrain without slowing down. Which is part of why the carriage is bumping so bad, because they're not taking it slow. But
well, yeah, we got to get there, so I'll let them go at their own pace, so long as it doesn't also break the carriage.
Make a perception check.
Can I also make a perception check and/or help him?
Yeah.
Do you want advantage or?
No, you can look too. 15.
9.
With a 15, you sort of keeping an eye on the wheels, Ithram, as you're driving, and they seem pretty sturdy. This is as much as it's not designed for this kind of road, it's much better put together than the one you rode into Gryfftop on. So it can take some amount of beating before anything breaks.
Yeah, and if we crest a hill and see the village from a distance, that's when he'll probably slow it down and bring it to a halt so that we can probably ride the rest of the way in.
At about just as the sun is beginning to set, because the birds are so fast over this terrain, you actually make better time than you would otherwise. As the sun is about to set, you crest over a hill that looks down into this valley where the town is, and you immediately notice something not right. The entire valley below you is coated in fog.
Is it the giant army of liches in the center of the town?
No. It is it's a visually impenetrable, basically, cloud all over the town. You can barely see the tops of some buildings. You can see the second floor of an inn, and you can see a spire of the spire of a church, and that's it.
Well,
that's a hell of a fog bank.
So I'll pull in the reins and we should friends take a look at this.
The birds pull to a halt.
We see
it's a bog bank.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is very, very bad.
Yes.
To be absolutely shit for visibility.
I don't have.
Do you have any idea what kind of magic this could be?
Arcana, religion.
They make either Arcana or religion.
I have a spell similar to this, but yes.
I don't know why they're always asked Arcana, religion. I have +0 in both. It doesn't matter.
Well,
18.
that's perfectly average.
15. I will accept that.
Can I do any sort of nature check to tell if anything might be
You can make a nature check.
Yeah. Exacerbated by things or some other mundane sort of effect?
It's just a low-lying area. The fog naturally gathers there.
Yeah.
What's the deal, guys?
Okay.
For that.
Cold rain on hot soil.
That's not how fog works.
7.
Fog is not usually impenetrable unless it's magic.
With a 7 to Tanya. I mean, it's really heavy fog. You see this all the time on the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there's still a pond down there.
Yes, a pond.
For everyone else,
Is magic?
I mean, yes, it's definitely magic. Ithram, it's similar to Fog Cloud, but Fog Cloud doesn't cover this distance.
I have Mordenkainen's private sanctum, so that covers a very large area.
Yeah,
in fog like this, but that's a lot. That seems like a lot larger.
This is much larger than that could possibly do. It's you would assume it has something to do with the thing that you were told previously about how the Shattered Skull likes to isolate villages that they're attacking.
I realize I only rolled a 17. It was mentioned that some of them are ice magic specialists. Would this be a kind of ice magic potentially, or just
This is potentially. It could be. It could also just be part of their part of their containment magic.
Right. Well, however they're doing it, this is why Velaki is isolated.
I can
That is
actually.
exactly why Velaki is isolated, honestly, is the fog.
I'm gonna.
Look, I'm never gonna pronounce this name right, and I've just accepted it. I'm sorry.
Titania's off to the side starting to cast something. She's gonna do commune with nature as a ritual.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we're going to want to bring the birds into that unless we want to lose them in the fog.
You know, Ariel is already dismounting and withdrawing Emperor whatever the fuck.
The Emperor's virtue.
Or whatever the fuck.
Yes, Scuzz leaps down from Child and she's like, "You be good here, don't get eaten, and I'll be back. Use your big feet to fight off anything that tries to eat you.
What?
I love you too." Okay.
There's just two vector. There's just a
The white bird just gives you an icy glare.
exactly.
And as you look into the eyes of this bird, you know this one has killed before.
Yes.
I am so proud, but I can't. No. Imagine your OTP.
Velvet just kind of steps down out of the carriage and just clenches a fist, and then there's a crackling lightning staff, and she just kind of slings it over her shoulders. All right.
Tanya's crouched down off to the side, fingers in the dirt, in the mud, just sort of like squinting.
So we are entering into a town that is infested with necromancers, with fog that will probably block even our enhanced vision. Clearly, what we need to do is split up and attack it from different directions.
That's
Scuzz is already on that.
That wasn't
joking.
serious, Scuzz!
I was joking, Scuzz.
Goodbye.
Yoink, grab.
Is there a dex save we can make to grab the nose?
Scuzz's feet are kicking furiously as Valdeth, Ariel, and Carolina all grab at the same time.
It's not kicking furiously. He's doing the thing, you know, when dogs are in the water, they still think they're swimming.
Yeah, exactly.
His feet are like...
He's still tiptoeing in the air.
Yeah, still tiptoeing in the air.
Like the Flintstones when they're running, but they're being held up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Here's a thought, and I realize Carolina feels that time is of the essence. What if we wait and do this during daylight hours?
Fog would make much of a difference there.
Here's the concern.
I'm worried that this fog could be preventing the potential positive effects of daylight against certain kinds of undead. But
Indeed.
I can help blow fog away.
You're concentrating. You can't talk.
Okay, never mind.
Here's my concern. We can't see what's going on in there. For all we know, there are sensory magics. Or simply, there is an army of zombies and skeletons and ghouls and ghasts and vampires and everything else just inside that fog, looking up at us like, "Hey, masters, there's some people up there. They look like they're bedding down for the night."
there's also a decent chance that once any of us enter the barrier, we will be able to leave and possibly won't be able to send a communications outside of it.
It's not impossible.
All right. Just wanted to ask.
In most situations, I would agree with you. I think there's too much chance that we will be setting ourselves up for an ambush in that case.
Rum and I can only ward a camp so well. And that's very well, but it's not going to help much if a powerful spellcaster just doesn't feel like dealing with it.
True.
Fuck them, I'm powerful.
And I mean, I don't think, I'm not too familiar with any of your medics, but I don't think any of them prevent someone from just walking in. They might have
no.
one does, but I don't think it stops them from doing it.
No, they can walk in.
It would
but
let
they
me
can't.
know. That's
Yeah.
all.
So I don't think any of those spells the army of undead from just marching on us while we are asleep. It might wake us up before they get to us, but
Does anyone have any form of far-seeing magic that we can see if it passes through the barrier, just to get more info about the barrier?
At this point, Titania, your spell fires off.
Woo!
I have
Uh,
What do I see?
Well, you gain 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. So which 3 of these would you like facts about?
All right, powerful undead.
Okay. All inside the fog.
Okay, is it do I have any sense of like is there one very powerful thing concentrated somewhere, or is it just a lot of little things, kind of that
Do you
type
want to
of-
use 2 of your facts for that?
I will.
All right. There is one very powerful thing somewhere on the southwestern side or southeastern side of the village.
Okay.
And there are also lots of smaller undead signatures throughout the town.
All right.
Like an uncountable number.
Okay.
Looking at the size of it, you'd estimate that this town probably at its peak had about 10,000 residents.
Okay.
You're pretty certain they're
Christ.
down to
Okay.
You're pretty certain they're probably down to like 20, maybe 50. Based on what you're sensing.
Fuck. Would influence from other planes of existence give me a sense of like it? Because we were told that they can sometimes ally with elemental things, that type of thing. Would that give me a sense of that or not? I don't know.
It might.
Might. Okay.
Would you like a fact about that? If there's any influence from other planes of existence?
Terrain might be more useful because we can't see.
I mean, we
what's
do
there.
know that Skull apparently likes to try and break the planar boundaries.
Yeah.
So that might be relevant.
I'll go with that because there's no limit on casting this spell a couple times.
No.
So.
Yeah. So you can definitely sense the magic of the Shadowfell permeating in the same area as that large undead signature.
So Titania has been uncharacteristically quiet in the back.
And as you look over, like bits of root and flower have sort of grown up around Titania's hands and arms as they're pressed into the ground. At which point Titania's eyes open and this information is there.
We're kind of late. There's a lot of undead down there. I think they turned most of the town. There's 20 to 50 people and something big in the southeast. That's also
Define
connected or drawing from or something from the Shadowfell.
Define big.
Do I have a dimension? Anything
Powerful.
like that?
Yeah, you don't have
Powerful.
you don't have a physical scale, just powerful.
Powerful. Bigger than
Plan. We can't. If do you have a rough estimate of how many lesses?
Well, depending on how many of them fallen apart by this point, 9,009.
All right, so
The head off the snake, is it?
yes, we need to target the one, and hopefully, perhaps whatever necromancers are around them. Perhaps the undead is specifically the necromancer. Perhaps there is an undead, and there are also necromancers, but they will probably be in one spot. And we can't fight through 9,000 and whatever before we
No.
get there, because while I have no doubts that I can take the 4,600 on the left, Carolina can take the 4,600 on the right, so on, continue that joke. In the process, will be worn down enough, will be destroyed.
Guys,
My dagger lets me travel really quickly. With one, I could do it with one other person.
Two people against something really powerful is not a whole lot of people.
No, but
I can
So
do pass without trace, and that'll let us travel very quietly.
what it's worth,
And-
as you're looking down, so the town, what you guys can see visually, just to clarify, the town is in the middle of a sort of like a cradle valley, and the entire valley is covered in fog. It's not just the town that's in fog.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mhm.
So as soon as you drop down, from where you're at to the fog is about 500 feet. And then it's dense fog. And the sources you were getting, Titania, were much further away than that.
Okay.
So they're not
We
right on the
certainly
edge of the fog, but it's
Could try and loop around. There may also be an active power source allowing them to create this many undead continuously.
Yeah. The
That
Shadowfront.
if destroyed, it would prevent them from being operable anymore. But it could just
Well-
be that they've had enough time to make this many.
Given that we have this information, I would say our best tactical advantage will be steer clear of the fog until we can get to a point where we're as physically close as possible to our target beacon, and then enter as quickly and quietly as we can, take out whatever's in that area, and hope for the best.
Indeed. And if we can't take out that thing, then we'll probably be fine against the literal horde of the undead.
Well, and or that thing itself is in at least probably one of the more defensible areas in town, and we can at least barricade and hope.
That as well.
If you give me a little more time, I can figure out the terrain, what's around, any buildings, that kind of thing.
That could be helpful.
From a
That could be
time-
very helpful.
So you spend 10 more minutes with your arms in the ground.
Yep.
What 3 more facts would you like?
Terrain and bodies of water.
Okay. There is a lake.
Okay.
It's in the middle of the town. From what you can from what you're getting, it's sort of like in the center of where this fog is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And around that, again, it's this large cradle valley. So it's this sort of starts at a steep slope and then gently evens out until it gets down to what you're sensing as farmland, basically in all directions around the central core of the town. Which would mean that, like, in any direction you approach, you'll be passing through farmland before you get to where this undead is.
Okay.
So that's 2.
That used 2 of them up.
Oh, sorry, that was only 1, because that is
Yeah.
both. Yeah, 1 fact about
Yes.
both. So yeah.
Buildings. Let's go with that.
Mostly farmland. You're getting mostly farmland, which means farming. Farmhouses and barns and things. On the interior of the village, it's mostly residential. There's not a lot there. There is a church and a shop and a graveyard. There are a couple of specialized buildings, but for the most part, this is a farming community.
Yep.
Like the blacksmith probably mostly handles farm equipment and things like that. The one building whose second story you can see through the fog is an inn, a fairly large inn. And the graveyard is next to the church spire you can see, which is also where you're sensing that undead.
Okay, the big undead.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is in the graveyard, not in the church. But
Got it. All right. And then, yeah, because pants, mental animals, or people. I don't know if that would be helpful.
you could sense where the surviving members of the village are if you wanted.
Yeah. Survivors.
Yeah, so you're getting about, now that you're focusing in on that information, there's about between 50 and 60 people still alive.
Okay.
They all seem to be concentrated in that inn building.
Okay. So Titania will lay out that the kind of general layout of the town. There's that necromancer or whoever is in the graveyard. The survivors are in the inn. You can see it's a tall building.
And from where we're standing, can we tell kind of what the proximity between the church and the inn are?
The inn is basically, from what you can tell, it looks like it's right across the road, like whatever main road from the church.
Okay, so they're pretty close in terms of positioning.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Find a decent vector of approach and sneak in, try and take out whatever that monster you can pick up on is.
Tonight? Okay.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Do we want to hide the cart here? Ride the birds around the other side if we're going to loop? Hide the...
We already looped.
No, right now you're still on that hill overlooking, because Titania's been hands in the dirt scanning.
They're bigger, and I can't... let me double check my spell here real quick, because I am not sure off the top of my head. Pass Without Trace will get me to cover... Oh!
Each creature you can choose within 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can help cover the birds, too.
Also, that means the
How subtle
birds
do
don't
these
leave
birds
tracks.
seem, especially one of them's hot pink.
Yeah.
It's also almost... Yeah.
They're very loud.
That wasn't a GM answer, but...
They're very
loud.
They're vocal? Okay.
I think that they're generally trained to stay somewhere, and we can leave them out of the way. If we want to be sneaky, the chocobos are probably not the right answer.
And Ariel can vouch for the killing capacity of at least one of them.
All right, well, let's get into position, stow the mounts, and go in.
So, what side of the village are you wanting to come in on? Are you wanting to come in on the southeastern side?
I assume whichever one's closer to the church, unless
that'd be the
anybody
southeastern
objects.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Okay, yep, southeastern.
Yeah.
Before we even get out, Ithram pops out shield, flail.
Yep.
As much as I'd love to put this staff to the test, considering our enemy of choice, it's actually going to be more wise as she puts the staff away and pulls out the star metal greatsword.
Oh yeah.
Radiant damage, Joe.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm in my sheath because it's bright. I cast Pass Without Trace on us all.
Okay. You can all give me stealth checks. So, well, first of all, you round the thing with the chocobos, and you get to the southeastern side. You set them up just over the hill, so they're not visible from the valley. And then crest over. There's a slight drop and incline before you get down to solid walking ground. Because you're not coming in through a road, you're coming just you're cresting over the hill. And then very quickly you find yourselves descending into fog. So give me a stealth check.
Do we have advantage because of the fog?
No, because the things that are in the fog can see through it.
Okay.
That
Bunch of cheaters.
God damn it.
Oh,
You have
God.
18.
Oh,
10.
God.
It's a plus 10.
Wow. 27.
26.
18.
Come on, people.
17.
Well done, spellcasters.
That's what we're here for.
Valdez would put the greatsword away while they're trying to sneak because it does shed light.
That is literally the lowest I can roll without getting a natural one.
Scuzz has bookmark and the Sunblade hilt, but I can. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, the Sunblade doesn't have to be ignited.
My
3.
That was sleight of hand,
Light
but I'm
shedding
assuming it's the same.
Oh no, it is not. Oh no, it is. Oh yeah.
So 33.
How did I get that wrong? Yeah, 23.
I really like
33.
that the two fighters were able to be sneakier than
One
the
of whom
spellcaster.
Full plate, by the way.
Well, your druid's fine.
I'm not here to be sneaky. I'm here to bring thunder.
Okay.
Bring the thunder.
We need to be sneaky before we bring the thunder.
So
Can you cast silence on my gun?
Silence is
Yeah,
a cleric spell.
the lowest stealth. So the lowest stealth roll you have is a 17. Sorry, yeah, it's a 17.
It is
There's a
correct.
plus 10 for everything else. I rolled an 18 on the die, but you have a cumulative amount of things happening. So
yeah.
so you begin sneaking in through the fog. Make a survival check, everybody. The fog is so thick, it's difficult to even see each other.
Not
as you're moving
awful.
through.
Shit.
16.
And it,
Pretty
Roll bad.
good for a -1.
Me and William switch die.
Yeah.
and as you're moving through very quietly, trying to maintain, and none of you have the keen mind feat, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
So
I'm this character now.
trying desperately to maintain the same direction you were going in as you begin to pass through farmland.
Oh wait. Scuzz holds up bookmark and he's like, "Where's north?" And the
It
blue
should-
gem on it points to where north is.
Okay, cool.
It should be noted
Mhm.
for actions that may be happening momentarily.
Okay,
I do have the alert feat,
yes.
which means other creatures do not gain advantage on attack rolls if I don't see them.
Correct.
I lied. I don't actually have to say anything. I
Also,
literally
I
just
cannot be surprised.
I hold the dagger in my hand flat, and it literally acts like a compass and points north.
I'm a little worried we're gonna end up stabbing each other, but that's fine.
I just love the I
As-
can't be surprised
as
of
you-
course.
As you guys sort of gather at a fence in this farmland to sort of gather your surroundings, and Scuzz is figuring out which direction is north so that you guys can keep on the same track, you realize Valdeth and Gent aren't with you anymore.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Where'd they go?
Are we with each other?
You are with each other, Valdeth and Gent, as you also stop to try to get your bearings, and you're sort of not able to see anybody, and you sort of reach out and you grab each other's hands so you can tell that you're next to each other, but you've got no idea where the others are in relation to you.
Fucking shite.
All right, but I have a question for the GM.
Mm-hmm.
As Gent is clutching out to reach somebody, who's holding his other hand?
Well, you're gonna have to roll initiative to find out.
Okay.
as Valdez just sort of stealthy Dan pulls out the great sword. Because now we're
I
alone.
lost track of other people for 30 seconds. Stealth be damned.
Well, it's like we're alone, and if anyone sees us, they're already coming at us. So
Better
swords
make
out.
sure they absolutely see us.
So you guys are nowhere near each other at the moment,
Wonderful.
even though there's not that much space on this battle map. So go ahead. And,
I'm surprised we've got that much vision.
The
I can't see anything, which is correct, but it means that I can't select my token.
That's accurate.
Hang on. Let me give you a torch worth of light, because I'm actually no. How much light does your star metal weapon generate, if you have one?
I need to recheck the star metal weapon, but I don't actually have it conjured.
Bright light
You
20,
should
dim
probably
light
give-
20.
Okay, I will give you that just for when you conjure it, if you conjure it.
20 feet bright, 20 feet dim,
Okay. Yeah.
and that's light everyone can see.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we have dark vision, Gent, so
Yeah.
that's why we can see that far.
You're just
I
gonna
know
turn
I'm
around,
the
look
only
at your other
human, plus
hand,
the only one with dark vision.
and just see a skeleton going, "Hey, how are you?"
Ooh, that's weird.
Okay. Well, we'll go with
There we
these
go.
for the tokens, though.
I can't see anyone that's
Health
near me
isn't
now.
right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. What'd you do? Why can't you see anyone that's near you?
It's just black
Hang on.
now for some reason.
Oh, because for some reason your vision was turned off. There.
Aha! Thank you.
There we go. So, let me roll for them. Ooh, nice. This one.
Hey,
Tracker
buddy.
here.
I say, like, gunshots are about off. I don't think the bright light from my sword is going to be the real breaking stealth thing in a minute.
So that should be this. That should be this. All right. Ba-dum. So, starting with Scuzz. So, Scuzz, you and the rest of your party has just realized that Gent and Gent and Valdeth aren't there.
Oops. Nope, not that one. Sorry, I'm adding things because Roll20 is like no, a thing. Anyway, this guy's like, oh, shit.
And
okay.
For purposes of vision, by the way, you have so you can barely make out things that are within 10 feet of you. Beyond that, fog.
So no one else is around me. I've lost everybody else.
Well, no, you have the rest of your party there. Like the
just
people
not
that are
Gent and
yeah,
Valdeth.
Yeah, just
okay.
not Gent and Valdeth.
Scuzz is going to whisper to Ariel. He's like, should I turn on the light or should I keep going forward?
Turn on the light.
Okay. So Scuzz is going to use his bonus action to activate the Sunblade.
Okay.
And it emits a bright light of 15 feet, dim light 15 feet. The light is sunlight. It does count as sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as the sunlight from your blade, why didn't you have night vision either? Who doesn't have night vision on the screen? That should.
Me.
That should.
Mine's kind of interesting because I clearly have night vision, but there's also a big circle of black around me.
Yeah.
Hang on.
There was.
That's kind of my whole deal too.
Hang on.
Now it's gone.
There. That's better.
I still have it.
I think when I converted the dynamic lighting from the old stuff to the new stuff, it fucked everybody's tokens over, I think is what happened.
It was anti-light.
There.
It was advanced darkness.
Because from my perspective, it looks like you all have your correct dark vision.
I mean, we do, but only in that our vision is darkness.
There. I think I've fixed everybody's now. So the light lights up, and as it does, you hear this sound, and you look over, and coming through the wheat near you is this body that is shambling through the darkness at you. It appears to be mostly like it looks like a dead corpse, like a corpse, but its face is emanating this bluish fog that almost perfectly blends in to the fog around it, and it's also emanating it off of the joints and the various other aspects of flesh that you can see, and it is just to the left of you.
No bueno. Scuzz is going to step forward, and swing at it.
Go ahead and give me a attack roll.
I don't. Oh, I can still do that. Yeah, it won't probably do as much damage. I'm always confused about how I actually get sneak attack.
You get sneak attack. So you get sneak attack if you have advantage on your attack roll, or you have an ally in melee with them.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't get my sneak attack, but I'll still hit it with the sunblade. Boop.
A 19 will hit.
Excellent. So, wow, why did it do all of that?
So ignore the 11. So you have actually, are you using it two-handed or one-handed?
No, one-handed, because I got the bookmark in the other hand.
Yeah,
so it does technically 9 points of damage because it does another D8 for an undead enemy. And ignore that 15 as well.
Yeah.
Because
9 radiant damage.
The 15 would be your sneak attack.
That would be my sneak attack, but I can't get it. But that's okay because I can't use my bolts of the grave either because I used my bonus action already. Bummer. Okay. Scuzz is then going to dance around to the other side of the zombie. Literally go between its legs.
At which point you hear a similar growl as you are now close enough to detect this one.
Perfect. Scuzz has the sunblade and bookmark up. He's just like, I'm gonna mark your pages.
All right.
That's it.
Ithram, you're next. You can hear Scuzz's combat going, and you can see this lighter area of the fog in that direction, but you're not quite close enough to see what Scuzz is actually fighting.
Okay.
It's zombies.
I can make an educated guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still making sure I can keep an eye on everybody. I'll step over to here by Titania. And now can I see anything?
You are still not quite close enough to make out the form.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, you are. Sorry, within that one, yes, you can see this one.
Okay. Then that's
gonna be a fun something. You're not quite close enough. Okay, I move a little bit closer. Sorry. Great. Now you're at disadvantage for ranged attack.
I was looking at this one.
Yeah.
I was looking at this one, but you are close enough to see this one.
All right. Then he is going to just for right now starts swinging the flail, and what looks like a fairly large crossbow bolt forms in the shape of fire and firebolt.
All right, go ahead and throw it.
All right. 16.
16 hits.
For 11 points of fire damage.
Some of the flesh burns.
With his illusionist bracers, he's going to do that shit again. Another 16 hits.
16 hits again.
For another 9 points of fire damage.
So, just with rapid succession, the flail flicks forward twice. 2 firebolts hitting it.
Yep.
Ariel, you can see Ithram, and you can see these flashes of fire going in that direction.
Right.
That's me.
And it's Ariel's turn.
Move.
Yep, you can now see it.
How bad does it look?
It's hard to read on this thing. Mostly because half of its body appears to be made of fog. But it doesn't look like it's bloodied yet.
Awesome. So she just walks up as like, nope. Boom. I will...
Now I have an excuse to use Booming Blade.
I will spend a grit point for Deadeye Shot, so I have advantage. So 26.
A 26 will hit, yes.
Wait, why did that roll initiative?
Oh
That rolled initiative for some reason.
yeah, that's weird.
Which is funny because I have the same initiative bonus as I do to hit, but regardless.
You just accidentally
27.
Here, we'll put you back down. I don't remember what your initiative was, but it was less than it was like 24.
It was 16.
Was it 16? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Boom.
So 21 because having gained it, well, because it's there anyways also, but
yeah.
21 damage.
There's this loud explosion as this explosion of force that as the gun goes off and a bullet enters this creature.
Second attack.
Interestingly, Valdeth and Gent, you do not hear the gunshot.
Sweet.
Cool.
Second shot. You know what? We'll just do this normal. 24 for 11
hits.
piercing. And the palm pistol.
Now it is definitely bloodied.
12.
A 12 misses. As
you know what? I'm going to use my inspiration.
Goes off to one side.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Go
on
ahead.
That. 28.
28 hits.
For 7 piercing.
So you raise the pistol to fire, and just before you pull the trigger, Esme goes, "To the right, dear," and you adjust and fire, and it hits.
I knew that.
Of course you did.
And I don't have any indication that this one is here.
No,
correct?
You can't see it yet.
Yeah. There hasn't been any verbal or anything?
Nope.
Okay. So then in that case, I am staying right where I am.
All right. So Gent, you look over to your left and see Valdeth. And you look over to your right and you see this zombie that has this fog leaking out of its face and hands. And as it looks at you, it goes, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Not this shit again.
No.
This icy fog, it emanates off of it and envelops your senses. You are blinded at the moment.
Cool. He's definitely going to.
That was its bonus action. It still has its action.
All right. Did I? So I'm blinded. I didn't take any damage.
Not yet. No.
Okay.
It's now going to try to hit you.
Okay, because I've got a reaction that triggers when I take damage.
Does a 14 hit you?
Just.
All right.
My AC is 14.
You get your AC up, man.
It hits.
Why do you think I was looking for armor and core? I didn't have shit.
For 12 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
7,000 necrotic.
Awesome.
11 cold damage.
All right.
I was so close.
You were so close. He's got a reaction, so he'll be at disadvantage for this since he's blinded, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. But he's going to try. Boom. Wow. Does a 27 hit it?
It does.
Okay. So it takes 22 thunder damage. Why didn't it do the secondary damage? Oh, because it's not in there. Hang on a second. I need to roll the secondary damage for the actual bullet. 1d10 plus 7. And 16 piercing damage. And is pushed 15 feet away from me.
So yeah, there's just an explosion that ripples out from the gun, and this thing slides out of view, of Valdeth at least, because it was already out of view for you. The other group does not hear that go off.
Okay. I can't see.
Meanwhile, another one. appears next to Valdeth. Valdeth, you see one right as it gets within 10 feet of you, and then moves up, and also make a Constitution saving throw.
I feel like you've got a better shot at that than I do.
I'm going to use an inspiration. Because fuck that. That's better.
A 16 is enough. You manage to shrug off whatever effect this is that was trying to blind you. Meanwhile, it takes a swing at you. Does a 12 hit you?
No, not even close.
Does a 17 hit you?
Nope.
All right, so both attacks hit your plate mail, bounce off.
Bonk, bonk.
This one over here is not smart enough to know about attacks opportunity, and so tries to shift over towards Ariel. Scuzz, you get an attack of opportunity if you so desire.
Yes, please.
Now that it's adjacent to Ariel, does Scuzz get his sneak attack?
Yes, now you would. Actually, no, because the attack happens as
It's
it's moving
only on
away,
your
so it
action.
wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a yeah. Does that?
A 13.
Wait, no, wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I spend a lucky point.
Okay.
And roll that again. There we go.
Right. We'll take.
For the same amount of radiant damage. 9.
All right. Yeah, you hit it. 9 damage. And then it, similarly, Ariel, make a Constitution saving throw. You shrug it off as it tries
22.
and it
The
tries to
bird
smack
was
you.
scarier than you.
Does a 14 hit you?
A 14, Mike, yes.
14 hits you? Okay. So
Yes.
that's going to be...
My
We're
armor
here.
class is 13.
That's going to be... It doesn't add it to its damage, it just adds to its attack. 12 points of bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
as well as... 6...
63, you say?
15 cold damage.
Okay.
And it swings at you
Blah.
again.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit you?
13 does hit me.
All right. Ooh. For 16 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Ugh. And 16 cold damage.
Meh.
And then this one sidles up to Scuzz. You do hear this one, so you can tell there's another as it breathes out and ruins my throat. Scuzz, make a Constitution saving throw.
Exactly how
Is
that works.
this a poison effect?
No.
Dang it. I had to ask.
No, that's fair.
17.
You succeed.
Excellent.
And it tries to hit you in the face.
18 is what it needs to get.
Well, that's a 19.
Bitch.
And a natural 20.
Wow.
Ooh.
Double bitch.
So the first hit.
Don't
I was
forget
gonna
you have
say,
uncanny dodge.
Lucky can't help that.
Oh, that's
can it?
right. Thank you. Actually, no. I can use lucky against a hit. I can do that.
Specifically an attack roll against you, yes.
Yes.
Would you like
so
to use your lucky
roll it
to
again. Oh
reroll?
no, I roll a d20. I roll a d20 to.
Well, no. I think. Do you roll a d20 or do I just reroll
Yeah,
it?
it says you roll a d20 and
Okay.
choose whether the attacker uses its initial roll
Alright,
or
So
yours.
just roll a flat d20 for me.
Yeah. Bitch!
Oh,
Oh my god!
that is so.
So,
oh.
would you like me to use the 20 that I rolled or the 20 that you rolled?
I want you to use the I guess the 20 that you rolled. Like it's like, no, you're just gonna get hit. You're just really, really gonna get hit with it.
Right.
Thanks.
Damn. I don't think I've ever
so
seen that happen
that's
before.
going
That was
to be
hilarious, by the way.
So the first hit is 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Would
I
you like to-
can't do uncanny dodge because I used my reaction.
Oh
to...
God damn it!
Yeah.
Yeah, you already used your reaction.
This guy's just like,
7, 8 cold damage. So the first hit wasn't all that bad.
Where'd you come from?
Now for the crit. Why?
Roll ones.
Why?
Lots of ones.
Why?
Those don't sound like ones.
Depends.
Oh, that's some deep math.
I rolled 8, 7, 7, 8.
That's 30.
16
Yeah.
plus 14 is 30.
Plus 2, so 32 points of bludgeoning damage.
And that's not even the cold damage.
8.
I rolled worse than the cold damage.
32. Ow, ow.
Yeah, it was
ow,
2
ow.
7s and 2 6s.
Is Scuzz's health not updating on the?
No, it's not updating. On
No,
the
I am at 25 hit points right now
Cool.
Okay.
out of 65. I just got hit with it.
got rampage.
27 points of cold damage.
You were saying?
Another 20. Another.
Yeah, the cold damage on the crit hadn't been added in.
I hadn't added in
Oh.
the crit yet. That 32 was just the bludgeoning damage.
You told me 8 cold damage. Though.
No, I know.
Oh, the
That
first
was on the
attack.
first
That
hit.
was on the first
non-crit.
That was on the
Each
non-crit.
attack does
It's
bludgeoning
like-
and cold damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, Scuzz is out.
So yeah,
Oh.
this you hear that unearthly howl, and then you hear and there is silent from Scuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's normal. Scuzz is very sneaky.
Carolina, you can see Ariel being hit by something that you cannot make out through the fog.
That's fine. I'm a human. I'm used to being blind or used to being nearly blind during these fights, anyways. So I'm gonna walk up to where Ariel is, see the first one, know that there's probably things further on from what I've heard. Walking past that to here, do I pick up on any further zombies? Well,
No. As far as you can tell, it's just these two that are near you.
see an unconscious Scuzz. While I'm at this point of my movement, I'll use my incidental to yell to Titania, heal in this direction! And then I'm going to move once this way.
All right, it's gonna take its attack of opportunity on you.
or you
Yeah.
know, don't heal an attack. That works too. You
17.
do you.
I can't.
No. That was not directed at you. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes, AC 16.
Okay. So 9 bludgeoning damage. Now I roll like crap. Oh, that's better. And 16 cold damage.
Disadvantages of going topless. Cold damage is very effective.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'm gonna do a smash on. I'm gonna rage and then smash this guy.
All right, let's see what your rage does.
Right, that button is on the other sheet.
Here, what is it? Yeah, there you go. So you don't have to use this effect if you don't want to.
Okay. You know what? I
Also-
can see it, so I'll teleport over Scuzz.
Okay. So you teleport to on top of Scuzz's unconscious form.
Yeah.
I will
Because I
slightly-
confirmed that there wasn't further zombies that I could
I will
see.
slightly cantilever Scuzz so we can see both of them there.
Yep. And then we're gonna smash something with the Star Metal Warhammer, which I haven't used before on this character, so I'm not 100% sure that it's gonna roll correctly.
It should roll correctly.
Yeah.
That's
The
fine.
question is if it's gonna versatile correctly.
Ah. I believe it does what Scuzz's weapon did, which is adds the.
I'm
versatile
gonna
damage
reckless
into the thing.
attack because that's a thing I can do.
Go ahead.
True.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's not a D8, that's a D10.
Yeah, the versatile damage is on the right-hand side.
Oh.
So just ignore the left-hand damage and just look at the right one.
Yes.
So 6, 3,
So crit
5,
smash.
4. All right. Yeah, you smacked the fuck out of it.
And I get a second attack.
Yep.
16.
16 hits.
Okay. Well, that's 7 damage and 8 radiant.
Yep. So yeah, just you just sort of rock the foggy head of this zombie. Anything else?
That's all the things I can do on my turn.
All right. Gent.
Still blinded?
Still blinded.
He knows which way he pushed this thing, and since it doesn't really matter, since he can't see shit anyway, he's just going to try and shoot the one that he shot before.
All right, so it's a disadvantage on the attack.
Yep. Let me check one thing, because I do have focused fire. So he's going to use a bonus action to cancel that and just roll a straight one.
Okay.
For focus fire. And
Unfortunately, there are no straight ones available. You'll have to try again later.
Oh, okay. Well, you know.
I'm playing.
I know. Boop. And he's going to use a power shot. Oh, whoops. That shouldn't still be a disadvantage. So that was a 22.
22 hits.
Okay. So it suffers 25 magical piercing damage for the first attack.
And now that the second gunshot has gone off, Gent, you can tell it sounds quieter to you as well.
Okay, so this is he can analyze that it's probably not making its way.
Yeah, you suspect that the fog is also dampening sound as well as vision.
I mean, that's kind of helpful to us. And then he'll do his second shot. This one
it
is
would
a
be helpful to you
disadvantage.
if it affected the people inside it or the creatures inside it.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if that's helping. Right, but does a 15 hit?
15 does hit.
Sweet. For another 14 piercing damage, and all of that was on this one that got pushed away.
Yes. All right. Anything else on your turn? Are you going to transform your gun? Oh, you've already used your bonus actions. You can't.
I was gonna say, yeah, he used his bonus action for that. And I have no idea where the rest of the group is.
Nope.
Right, I'm not hearing anything from them.
Not at all.
Yeah, he's just going to try and feel his way back to back with Valdeth. Right. Does he get another save against the blindness or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Titania. Mara, did you freeze?
I think
Mara,
did
can
freeze.
you hear me?
Mara is deaf.
There's Mara.
I'm back. Okay.
All right. There we go.
Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna send Carbuncle because Carbuncle goes on. Well, supposed to have her.
Yeah,
Garnet's supposed to have her own initiative, but
we'll say Garnet has their initiative on your turn, just for
I'll just do that. That's easier. I'm gonna send her over to Scuzz. Sort of leaps through the air, lands on your chest. Gonna cast Cure Wounds through that. At
make an insight check. Tanya.
An insight?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's ominous.
27.
Carbuncle's gonna rip Scuzz's throat out.
Carbuncle seems to have a larger radius of vision than you do.
Oh, that's good.
Scarlet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have Garnet cast Cure Wounds just
Garnet.
at first level right now. And then So you have 5 hit points. That was a crap roll. And then I am going to tell her to go find can you hear us at all over the earring or over the link pearl to Val and Get?
All right.
Or a link pearl shake because they're probably not in our
Yeah,
ears.
your link pearls vibrate like someone's trying to call
No,
you.
Okay.
Gent keeps his in his ear all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Then you,
So
you can
Gent
hear
will hear that, right?
Yep, you can hear that.
He'll respond on
You
his
can
turn.
respond on your turn.
And tell Garnet to go find Gent and Valdeth.
All right.
Ah.
Garnet's going to
I
move
think
away
that
from
way.
that zombie, which is going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Didn't it already get one?
No, one did, not the one that the one that
That could be unfortunate for Garnet.
that
I know, but
name words.
Wait, no, this one here definitely got an
Yeah,
attack.
The
this
one
one
that was
did.
next to Ariel was
This
the one,
one
that
didn't.
me.
Yeah, the one that was next to Ariel.
Oh, that's right.
did.
Okay, no, yep,
Yeah, the other one
because
didn't.
he has to get within range.
Yeah.
Garnet has to get.
I realize I have
Yeah.
to rearrange everyone real quick.
Yep.
As people went away.
and that uses just Garnet's reaction, so they still do have their action to dash,
Yeah,
which is what I'm telling.
and
it
they
to
will do that as soon as this zombie tries to hit him.
Yep.
As long as not
Does a
suddenly
25 hit Garnet?
awesome suffer.
Yes.
That's gonna hurt.
Garnet has an amount of hit points,
Yeah.
more than your average familiar, because you can't resummon Garnet. So that's going to be only 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Would Garnet happen to be resistant to cold damage?
Mm-mm.
12 cold damage.
Okay. They're still going.
All right, so Garnet disengages and disappears into the fog.
Mal would have been a mass of feathers.
Mal would have just been poof.
Yeah, the one-time familiars have significantly more hit points than regular familiars because, again, they can
You
only be
can't
summoned
resummon
once.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And that was, I think that uses my action to do the spell. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
gives you
the
action to
familiar's
cure wounds.
reaction. And that's my turn. Ariel, are you okay? Because you're being snarky again, and I can't
And
tell.
I can't
I'm
see
staying
you.
there
I'll
looking
perhaps
out.
tell you when it's my turn.
Valdeth.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
So Valdeth sort of looks at this one in front of her and just kind of holds her great sword horizontally in front of her and focuses, and this trail of ink sort of reaches off of her right arm onto the blade as she activates the Eldritch Claw.
All right.
Booyah.
And she's gonna go for her attacks. Don't roll like garbage. 18.
Hits.
That's gonna be 2 force damage, 15 slashing, and 5 radiant.
All right. Second attack.
And then second attack, 18 again. 5 force damage, 18 slashing, and 3 radiant.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
Debating.
Debate faster.
No, that's it.
Okay. As you make these 2 strikes, as we get back around to Skuz's turn, that's where we're going to leave off for this week. We'll be back next week with what happens next as they fight these cold zombies. So, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Go vote.
Goodbye, and
Yes.
go vote if you haven't already.